Bam. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to D&D in space. This time we're actually in space. No more one-shot, three-shot somehow, two-shot how it happened. Fun little interlude, but this time we're going back to our campaign, our story. It's been a while, so I'll give you guys a little rundown of what happened the last few episodes. On their way to a space station, to a backwater station to try to get some more meds for Tex, since he has that, space miner's lung pretty much. They went out and found themselves in a place that was kind of rustic, or behind on the times, mostly would be the way to put it. An older space station that was run by mostly people looking to quickly drop off stuff, repair, refuel, and get the hell out of there. The people who do live there make a decent living in their small arcology, but the main thing that came to fruition was they made enemies of a gang. Stepping off the thing, they pretty much pissed the group off and showed them that they, in fact, should be the ones being afraid of the party, because the party wiped the fucking floor with them twice. Once on an elevator getting into the main station to head in and get the actual meds. The second time, after getting the meds and walking out of the shop, the lot of the gang on that level decided to set up an ambush. A 30-person ambush inside of a mall. A shootout ensued, and after probably in my mind, one of the most funniest scenes of these guys, one of them sifting through stuff, looting, the other couple of them are throwing grenades out and just popping out and just everything, all the fire from the other side, doing nothing but tearing the entirety of that place to shit. And then they turn a corner and they have an old museum piece field gun, which gets shot throughout the place, knocking down walls and support structures, eventually causing the entirety of one half of the mall to collapse. But they made their way out of there, decided, you know what, we're taking this gun with us too. And be damned if they were not going to get it where they wanted to go. Through trials and tribulations, they managed to take that back with them. Got the meds, got some licky chewies for Wolf, had a good old time. Met a group of individuals on the dock that were looking to eliminate this gang, and they didn't think that you guys would be able to do it, but you were able to, and did it in a grand fashion, as Leech handed a bloody shopping bag full of armbands to this guy, and he was like, oh, well, all right, which netted you guys an actual paying job. He has an easy job, literally just needs you to watch his back while he pulls some salvage. Shouldn't take too long. He just tried it once without any backup, and this gang and their spaceships went and roughed him up a bit. So, with that being said, there was a hilarious scene of a monkey fucking a football, to put it plainly, of trying to bungee cord a artillery piece to the top of a space big rig, which did not go very well. It was hilarious for me. It was probably one of the most lighthearted scenes in this whole thing so far. It was great. But yeah, so with that said, you guys made your way back to the ship after purchasing a cargo container to place the spoils of the run in. I'll throw you guys on the Nightingale map. Why not? And then that is where we find ourselves currently. You guys are inside the docking bay of the Nightingale. And is there anything else? You have 20 shield points. So each round that you do stuff, I just put the shields in temp HP because that's pretty much what they are. So you guys find yourself on the bridge of the Nightingale. Phoenix, Ash, and a few other of them decide to go to a different arcology and not that one, taking the fighter instead. They head down to go get the things they might need and keep in good comms with you, as they are not looking to get into a fight. So that's where we'll pick up. You three and Ox and Brian are on the spaceship currently. What is it that you do?
I go and store my candy.
Oh God, yeah. You got a bag full of some
Yes.
old school old school shit.
Yes. It's amazing.
Well, so did we set up a meetup time with those other folk?
You have not contacted them yet, no.
Well, I thought they wanted 4 days, and they would contact us.
They could, or you could contact them in 4 days. They just said they needed a bit of time to set things up. So
Okay. And this is still 4. This is still
4 days
4
out.
4
Yep.
days. Okay, cool.
We picking up right where we
Making
left
sure.
off with
Making sure.
you guys swapping off the boat
Right.
time. Yeah.
It's been like a month.
I know.
It's been a bit.
How do I play this character again? I punch things, I think.
That makes sense. I'm gonna ask Tex if he wants to go do a system diagnostic, since we might get in a dogfight. If there's anything that I can help him shore up deficiency-wise within the ship.
I think everything's system green to run. Shields are in good shape. Everything's running. We haven't
Okay.
really been in combat since we got it fixed up, so I think everything's fine.
Okay.
I mean, what's the engineering robot's name again?
You mean Femoral?
The AI.
Oh yeah, Femoral.
Femoral.
Femoral, could you go ahead and give us a diagnostic anyway?
He is hidden, I thought.
He is currently non-connected to the ship. He's quarantined
Oh.
in that one room. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd ask him.
When
for
you
his
say that,
last
I'm gonna
note.
look at you and I'm gonna be like, "Thank your girlfriend." Which makes our life just a little bit harder.
It's temporary. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Tell yourself that. So, do you want to go do it actually with our eyeballs and walk the systems and make sure everything's good?
I mean, I'm assuming there'd just be some sort of system I could pull up, and I'd hit a couple buttons and it would do that, right?
I don't know. Is there?
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my own character sheet instead of Nightingale's, because that'd be more useful.
Right now, at least.
I don't know. Maybe some computer knowledge might be able to help you with that, right?
How about that?
A dice, an engineering check, sure. You know, there are several obvious diagnostic computer systems inside of the thing. All of those seem to be working as they work on a small local thing. You just don't have the Alexa to tell you basically what's going on. But you do have your eyes, and they can read the readouts. The ship is in tip-top. Its engines are running full capacity. Your coolant levels are in the green. Engines are in the green. Everything looks good except for your communications, which are offline, obviously. And your internal AI connections, they are currently offline. Your sensor suite is in read-only. It's not in transmit at all. But yeah, other than that, everything looks good. You have full complement of your weapons that you would normally have, minus any extra you would want to carry. Your chaff and flare, all your equipment is there. Life support's 100. Everything reads out tip-top. Hull integrity 100%, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Both bays are full. Your storage containers, you have 3.5. That counts as 3.5 out of 2, 4, 5, 6. Out of 6 spaces filled for your storage in your cargo hold. Other than that, that's basically what your engineering breaks down. All your levels look normal. So.
You're the NG. You're saying it looks good. I'll take your word for it. Well then, I'm going to go and continue to try to crack this stupid-ass virus in my lab. So if
Okay.
you need me, you'll know where I am.
All right.
Gotcha, buddy.
All right. Wolf, what are you doing? Other than getting diabetes by eating all this candy.
I said I was stowing it, not eating it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Thinking, I probably need to sharpen my knife because going through a man's forehead is not good for the edge.
Definitely could use a whetstone, at least
yeah.
to steel. Yeah. Yeah, you can do weapons maintenance and all that stuff. If that's basically the rest of your day, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to do or interact with, that's the day.
Can I do my med check? I have an idea as to how to make this work. So, I'm going to try to see if in my lab, from what I understand of vaccines, you can piece together multiple vaccines together to make kind of like a pattern, from my understanding. And I'm going to try to see if there's a way that I can pretty much pull apart the pattern to figure out which specifically is the bad virus versus whatever the computer virus was, like the biological versus the computer.
Okay, so you can basically you're doing what an engineer would do when they find a piece of tech, you're taking it apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of reverse engineering.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay.
Pretty decent. Up on the high level. You learn the base components of it. You're not exactly 100% sure. It's going to take some time to cross-reference all the pieces, but you're fairly certain you can kind of tell where the mad science went, where the stitches are that hold the different body pieces together, and in the Frankenstein of this virus. But it's very delicate, time-consuming precision work, but something you can work on. I would say that counts maybe a step closer towards your goal as you start to catalog and cross-reference and look for patterns and get things narrowed down to this is one ATGC different than this one, and if I have the fucking microfilm flipped upside down kind of thing, I could be totally wrong. So it's like meticulous work that's going to take time, but you're fairly certain you're making headway.
Okay, then I feel pretty good about myself.
Okay. And that's going to
I'll
take the
also
better
be,
portion of the day. So.
Okay.
As far as my days go, I'll still just be going through manuals and stuff on the ship.
Okay.
Basically, the ship systems and stuff like that.
Okay. So this goes on for the next couple days. Later that evening, Ash and Phoenix and Lemmy come back from the fighter, and they basically are like, hey, cool. You see Ash has bought some clothes, some just normal everyday kind of stuff, because she basically had what you stole her out of there from, and like
I expected as much.
yeah, you were like, hey, I need a t-shirt and some basketball shorts.
I
Fuck
hadn't
off.
given her the credit card. I knew I had.
Fair enough. Yeah, Lemmy comes back with a few objects. Phoenix is just walking with a crate that jingles when he walks, just with bottles in
Not
it.
surprising.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just replacing what you fuckers took. But yeah, a lot of them make their way to their thing, dinner. Everything goes, and they're like at dinner that night, where you guys are all sitting down, depending if you were all grouped together or whatnot. They just make note that we didn't start any fights, and no one came and fought with us. It was a great time. She's like, Phoenix was like, I just wasn't particularly wanting to get in a fight with Little Miss Spy over here and number 2 mercenary. So, but other than that, everything goes swimmingly. The next 4 days, a blur of research, weapons, maintenance, and adjustments, fighting off boredom, learning your engineering manuals, which you all make headway in. But yeah. Is there anything particular you want to do over the next 3 points of days, or just continue on what you were continuing on?
I guess I'd sit down with Phoenix and go over, alright, we're drop troopers.
Mm-hmm.
I can fly a plane.
Mm-hmm.
I can fly a spaceship. I've never been a fighter pilot. How would you, how are we going to do this? And I'm going to kind of sit there and just kind of look at him and be like, are we just going to figure this out on the fly? How would you...
He's like,
Mr. Captain.
He's like, well, I got the captaining part down. Shouldn't be a problem. I have basically, while you guys were off having fun, I've been reading manuals, kind of like what Tex is trying to do, putting together all sorts of scenarios in my head. I basically can kind of coordinate you guys. He's like, I basically just broke it down like I NCO things. I can coordinate your fire this direction. I can also do that with the guns and with the engine systems. He's like, I kind of have my screen set up as he points to the different things. He's like, I can kind of get them where I need to be to see the important things. He's like, but I can't do those things. So that's what we need to have you guys practice on. He's like, I figured Wolf and Ox probably best with the gun systems. You know how to fly, so you're the only fucking person I'm gonna trust to put this in here. Also, you're the only one who can fly because of that nasty bug you got inside you. So you're kind of pigeonholed. He says, that leaves Tex. Well, let's just hope he knows how to read. He's not bullshitting us, that he can actually do the engineering part.
Sometimes I doubt it.
He's like, the boy went in the military to learn how to shoot stuff and jump out of, perfectly good spaceships, and then he's up there punching shit. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder.
You say I was forcefully recruited.
He's like, I have to, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. But,
so then, after we kind of go through that motion of, I want to hear what the captain's going to do, I'd be like, all right, so on a no bullshit level, how are we going to deal with this whole, your lady friend on Novus thing?
You start asking Phoenix this?
I'm asking Phoenix this, yeah.
He's like, gotta channel my inner Chad. I should have a drink in my hand for this, but
that's exactly what you need. Pour that scotch.
Yeah, I'll be right back. No, he kind of looks at you, and you can see the wheels turn for a minute. He has that kind of, he's thinking about it, but he immediately goes to his no bullshit business time face that he puts on when you guys suddenly are in an op or a mission or something like that, and just closes that out as he's like, doesn't matter, we'll get her when we can. He's like, there's a lot more pressing shit going on, and honestly, they've had enough time to fuck with her. If they wanted to fuck with her, she's already done. He's like, if not, we'll get her back. She can stay in my room, or you guys can find another captain as I go protect her. He's like, doesn't really matter to me. Just the matters that we get through this. One step at a time.
I hear you. And in those 3 days, after I had that nice little heart-to-heart with him, I'm going to go find Wolf at some point.
Okay.
I don't know, where do you hide? Where do you hang out on the ship? I'm usually in the lab or in the
shooting
cockpit.
lots of pool is what I remember, yeah. The pool hall.
Yep.
That would be on the crew deck in the second tier. Crew deck B.
Alright. So, I'm going to go find you after I go steal a glass of scotch from Phoenix. As I come in. Just
As you do.
Yep, just kind of moving. So, Wolf, we don't talk much. You're quiet. I'm obnoxiously loud. I understand this. Okay. So, as I take a sip, dealing with Tex, it was really simple. Save his girlfriend, got it. Cool.
Yes.
You save your kid. Do you really want your kid on a spaceship gonna get shot at all the time? I understand he's safer with us, but he's not safe in general. So I'm wondering, what's your plan, man? Do you have some place to stash him, or are you gonna? What are you thinking?
Robot missed out fire.
It was a drive-by fruiting.
I'm sorry, I got me.
That's the solution we need.
Honestly, I hadn't thought that far yet. I just thought I want to get him. I mean, I like you said, he's not safe, but this is the safest place for him.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
he's in there shooting pool with you guys too, so he's just kind of watching.
That?
Phoenix is watching this whole thing.
Oh,
go down,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's yes, he's going to be hanging out with some very trained killers, and yeah, we are fairly safe, but we got a huge bullseye on us.
Oh, definitely, but I would rather have him where I can see him and know that he is alive rather than have him with whoever, be it family, be it a friend, be it someone being with HP, to be honest, because you never know with them. Just like look at Ash.
Oh, I agree.
Honestly, I would rather have him on here.
Okay. I don't know. Like having people you care about is one of those things, but it's like, yeah. When the option of going to save Abby was there, I appreciate and I applaud all the help I got with that. But knowing she's safer staying in her own den, I feel is a lot smarter than trying to put her out here with us.
Abby was your inside person on the UWC, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. She had that cover up, kind of. She had that to fall back on. She had that to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
With Ethan, all he has is family. All he has is me. And right now he's with some Jimmy fuckall who knows what he's doing to him, you know?
Right.
So, I understand your comparison, but it's kind of a shit one.
Well, I guess that's where I'm seeing it differently. I don't understand. I wouldn't risk somebody that I feel is that important on a vessel that's going to get shot at on a regular basis. Or with us going on a mission and possibly not coming back.
No, that's not what I'm saying is wrong. It's the Abby had her life in the UWC to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to be on here.
That's true. Have you thought of trying to figure out something else for him?
What else can I do that the UWC won't be able to find him?
I'm just going to kind of look around and be like, well, we're in a very odd circumstance. Like, we have ties and connections to spy agencies. We got a lot of places. If you really wanted to go hide, you could hide.
I understand that, but it's also I don't know, it's kind of a selfish, but it's the peace of mind of knowing where exactly he is, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Because like you said with a spy agency, he's going to be moving around from house to house to house all the time. And not only do I not want that to think about, I don't want him to have to experience that. Because that'll fuck a kid up.
Phoenix kind of then sounds like we need to get somewhere. We need a safe haven. He's like, Tarzmeat was pretty safe after we installed our own mercenary force loyal to us in there.
Yeah.
He's like,
would you want your kid on a mining facility?
If it was my choice between a mining facility and being captive by a bunch of fucking pricks,
but I'm saying
he's like,
mining station or here.
I'd do the mining station personally. Honest, if we could trust them. He's like,
okay.
He looks at Leech. He's like, no one's safe until we can hammer out a bunch of other shit.
We got a lot of dents we got to fix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're on the solid path of us fixing quite a bit of this. Now,
thank you, by the way, Leech. Though, thank you for even asking.
Yeah, I gotta understand what's going on with everybody. I mean, I may be a narcissist. Well, I know I am a narcissist, but you guys are
You're
my
a
friends.
compassionate narcissist.
That's right. I do care sometimes, and you guys are my friends. So I gotta ask these things.
And we're useful to you.
You're damn straight. You are. You can shoot a dude in the nuts so well. Can't pay for that kind of skill right there.
You see Phoenix starts to say something and he grabs his arm where you've patched him up before. Doesn't say a damn, just nothing. He weighs his options, and you can see he decides to forego using a quip or a snarky comeback for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can pay for that though.
I'm
Pay for
sure.
anything with enough money.
Yeah.
There are some
I don't know.
kinky bastards on Novus.
Well, speaking of money, we should probably go get some, cause
Yeah, and we got our comms down, so we gotta make contact.
No.
you like take out the one of our skiffs, float out there, make contact, float back in.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you got a really long string in a can.
Well, I did just get a lot of industrial grade.
Clyde, shut the hell up.
All
I don't
right.
think the transmits sound nearly that well.
I mean, it's the closest to a space version of it we can get. So.
It's got 3 little loops around it somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Little floaty discs, yeah.
Just talk really loudly.
What?
The more vibration, the better.
Indeed.
Alright.
Yeah. Phoenix kind of says, I'll shoot you guys some like documents on how I think our combat should go. Blah blah blah. Basically, he runs you over some scenarios. You brought it up to him, Leech, and he's like, maybe I should type it out. He's like, basically, he runs it down to this point. He doesn't need to know what you're doing. He just needs to know you can do it. So if you feel comfortable doing it, he feels comfortable coordinating it. He's like, I can tell you where to point the ship, and as long as the motherfucker on the trigger can pull the trigger the right way and load and do all that stuff, we should be fine. He's like, it's surprising how much our military training just goes into this. He's like, those Navy guys are a bunch of pricks, man. They make this seem really complicated and hard. It's not. he's like, honestly, like 2 weeks of like Google searching and I got it. He's like, it's not hard.
I have a feeling that there's some personal
Feelings on this?
built in. Yeah.
No comment. But yeah, so
Who hurt you?
they all did. No.
This is a safe place.
I'll look at Phoenix and be like, all right, my thought was that just keep it simple. Keep it at a half burn so that we're in cloaking. And then, so we're staying off radar. But my thought is just running a big circle around them. Let them do their thing. And we'll just keep moving. And we'll just keep our sensors to read only so that no one's picking up on us. We're just picking up on them.
Okay.
And then if shit goes down, we pop out. We let them know we're
just
hot. We're here.
Give him the hurts real quick. Yeah, okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, he's like, that's a pretty sound strategy. I don't think we've run over like moves or something, but that's a good way to start. We can start there.
Okay.
All right. With that, anything else over the next couple days before you go make contact, or are we making contact now?
I'd have done the same
Continuing
thing
what I
with
was doing.
Ox, but he's not here, so
No, that's fine. Yeah, you guys can do that one next time.
yeah.
He wants to blow shit up and do something with his brother. Got it.
Yeah, he wants to find his brother now. He's probably a little worried that his brother's name's in the Diadem's mouth and on Diadem camera. He also, yes, wants to learn more explosive stuff. B wants to fuck with Tex. The usual. So.
I think that's more of an IRL issue with
It's
between players.
it's not even an issue. It's just you guys' thing.
Yeah.
Just likes to
Yeah.
fuck with you.
I know.
It makes a great comic struggle in the game. It's awesome. But yeah, so day 4 comes and goes, day 3 comes and goes, and in the morning on 4, you guys take out the entropy, float out a bit ways, turn on comms, and sure enough, that guy's hailing you guys' frequency.
Okay. And then I'll answer his call.
Formalities aside, you do the standard radio squawk procedure and stuff like that. And he's like, all right, boys. He's like, so, should be a real easy job. I mean, there's a salvage. The coordinates are these. Sends you some space coordinates. And he's like, maybe hour and a half from our position. where we're at. He's like, there's other stations closer and within range. Decided to go here. It's a little bit more off the grid. Less people poking. Not that they would. It's completely legitimate salvage. And he says, all you got to do, keep us watched. He's like, I don't think it'd take more than 30 minutes to get in and out and get what we need. As long as we don't have to fight off idiots with little scrapped together piecemeal fighter jets anymore, or small corvettes, or whatever the hell they were. All I know is they were fast, had a bunch of guns on them that we were not ready. We actually had our ship off, so there was no shielding up, and we just took hits. He's like, we'll probably keep the ship running this time, so we can at least keep our shields up, but he's like, if you could run a screen and deterrents, like I said, once we're done taking the stuff we want out of there, you can have what's left, and toss some extra credits your way for your hard work. Ooh. Thank you. But he's like, that's what I got. You guys got any questions?
Not really.
All right.
We'll figure this shit out.
All right.
You might not be able to see us, especially if you're scanning for us, but we're there.
All right. So, guys head back in with the entropy, lock down the cargo bay. Any talk or anything before you go? Just burning out.
I'm going to be running towards my seat with my vape. As I sit down.
All right.
And then I just look over at everybody and be like, let's, I would ask Brian if he would be interested in flying our fighter if shit gets really bad.
I could provide you with that, yes.
Awesome.
All right. So, head over to the battle map. You guys punch in the coordinates, start flying out. Brian preps the fighter. You guys are this. You should be able to move that ship around as much as you'd like. Yep. Okay. Okay. Get out of here. I didn't even know that was running in the background. Turn that off. I don't want to play World of Tanks right now. Thank you, though.
Why not?
Kind of trying to do this D&D thing with my buddies. It's kind of cool.
Do both.
I could, but not very well. Trust me, not very well. But yeah, so you punch in the coordinates and begin your hour-long burn. You can see Ash is kind of up and about, like walking around. Doesn't want to get involved with anything unless you ask her, but she basically just kind of, all right, this is exciting. A lot different than being a reporter. She's like, that was exciting, but we're in an imminent dogfight. This is not something this is a weird date. This is awkward.
Seeing her just kind of like go back and forth, I just kind of grab her and I take her to the engineering bay where I'm sitting, and I just kind of I hand her a cigarette.
All right. She takes it. Starts calming herself down with that sweet nicotine, and she's like, "All right." Hour goes by. You guys prep in your positions. Wolf, you make your way to which gun are you going to be manning today?
Port side.
Okay, port side missiles. Or yeah, all right. So you head over to that one. What's up?
I was wondering how many missiles we have.
You have 2 missile pods.
Okay, and we have 24 shots in each one?
24 rockets.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you head to that one. Ox says, "All right, I'll let you man the missiles. I'll run the top gun." As he does that, you look and he goes up to the other catwalk, which leads to the light rail cannon operations. So you are in weapons A deck, is what you are on. There's no one except Lemmy in weapons C4 deck. And weapons C aft is controlled now by Ox. So you settle into your station. Leech, obviously on the controls. You see Phoenix behind you in the control room, just kind of sitting at one of the chairs looking at things. Brian is in the hangar bay, ready to deploy when needed.
I'd get on the open comms and be like, "Hey, Lemmy, you want to shoot torpedoes?"
He's like, yeah, I can run torpedoes.
I would appreciate it. We might need that firepower.
Technically, it doesn't need power going to it, Tex, when it's reloading.
Okay.
It needs power when it's firing.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm. All the other weapon systems need full time to maintain their guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one, once it's fired, you ain't doing nothing to it.
That's what I was hoping.
yeah, it's gonna do its thing. Okay, but you guys all get into your positions, and as that happens, you come across this scene. There is a floating wreckage of an old. You're not quite sure. You're not the most versed in old spaceships, but it is an old kind of gray and red colored ship. If you had to make a guess, probably a warship. There's definitely places where turrets would be. Looks like they're kind of stripped currently. No turrets on it. There's definitely a large gaping hole in the side that looks like it came from an explosion. Not small puncture rounds, but something big that went inside and blew its way out. As the mangled kind of wreckage stretches out into space, there's little bits. They all seem to have kind of calmed, slowly spinning around, basically 2 or 3 pieces. There are some lights on, so the derelict has some sort of power, and you can see arriving at about the same time you do a small green and red colored, looks to be scrap ship, the one you saw parked in the docking bay of that station. As you come up, you can see they have what looks to be a large grabbing arm that kind of extends out. It's jointed, and it latches onto one of the pieces and kind of matches its spin and its momentum so that it's now spinning with the wreck. Instantly, they ping comms to you, basically say, all right, 30 minutes is what we need. Keep us safe, boys. He's like Captain Johnson out. And you can see, starting off, they send out an umbilicus to a piece, and they start to extend their reach. So you guys are doing what now? Just flying around in circles?
Yeah, just keeping it because we're cloaked if we're at half speed.
Well, you're not cloaked, but you're not detectable at high speed.
We can be seen visually. Just
if they pick you up, you look like a small nothing. You know, it's like it could be an asteroid, it could be a bird. Obviously not a bird, but you know what I mean. Same kind of radar shadow. Yeah.
A bird.
It's a space bird. That's what it is.
Valravn.
It's Valravn. They just chill.
You probably could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
All right.
Well, would it be better to try to... Is our ship small enough that we could hide next to the wreckage, or no?
You probably could. Depending on the angle of where people would come, they'd be able to see you, but for several directions, they wouldn't even be able to visually spot you.
Okay, can we do the whole like episode 4 park on it?
You can
That's
try.
kind of what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I would need a piloting check for that.
I'll ask Phoenix if that's how he wants to do it, or if he wants to just stay mobile.
He says both have merit. He's like, if we stay mobile, they'll be able to know something's moving out there. I don't know if that's going to throw him off. He's like, for the most part, I would say parking it there might be good.
Alright, I will try it.
Okay. So, piloting check.
The only thing I will say, the only thing is if we do that, then that automatically makes them the target, not us.
That's a good point.
Well, you maneuver yourself over to the ship, and as you do, you can get all the way up to it if you'd like, fairly close.
And then just have it where we're kind of drifting in its shadow.
Okay. So you're trying to match speed with it?
Yeah.
All right. That is another piloting check if I remember.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm rolling okay so far.
Not bad. I'm gonna say, yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough to do that. Alright, so let me just double check with pilot. Match speed. Yep. Shouldn't be hard. That thing's moving at like no speed. The DC would be like 2. So yeah.
Okay.
You definitely get in there and you're match speed with that and you just park. Alright. Just waiting.
Yep, just watching those sensors.
Okay. So, watching the sensors. First minute goes by. Nothing.
Do we have external cameras?
You have some, yeah.
I'm going to bring those up on my HUD as much as I can see. So if something's burning in quietly that we're not picking up, I can see it.
Okay. Alright. For those of you
My
on...
passive perception's 18, if that helps you.
Possibly.
Pretty fucking good.
It's my strongest thing.
Let's do this. We're gonna go gunners, pilot, and captain get a roll for perception.
Okay.
And the pilot doesn't see anything.
The gunner,
Oh.
You're controlling 2 of the gunners, John, just so you know.
Don't worry about them. I'm just rolling for
okay.
player characters. The other guys are NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ox doesn't have perception. He's not gonna see shit.
He's got like -1 wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't get character sheets for the other 2 characters until we start paying them. That's how it works.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Perception check.
Yeah. Passive perception is.
No, just your
No, I'm
passive
saying.
perception.
I'm just saying. Passive perception is 16. So.
Okay.
There. Pretty close. Just take observant, you'll finally beat him out.
Yeah.
You want to hit perception, not wisdom.
Fuck. It's been a while. Not much better.
Not much better, but alright. As you're watching the screens, you don't really get anything for the first couple minutes. You start to build that anxiousness, like, come on, something's gonna happen, I know it. Maybe you don't, maybe you're cool under pressure, but that would start to build in a normal person. A little bit of time goes by, 5, and you get a ping from them that says, we're in. It'll take us a few minutes to load everything up, and then we'll be out of here.
Okay.
A couple minutes go by. Give me another perception check.
That's a lot better.
I didn't roll the last one.
I don't know if we all had to, so I just.
Everybody who's looking. You do get a ping on your sensors. About 10,000 feet out.
Is it burning hard?
Not necessarily hard, but it did switch direction to your course. It suddenly is now veered your guys' direction.
Does it have a transponder?
Probably, if you're getting a ping from it, yes.
I don't know. Do the transponders like tell you what classification the ship is, or is it just a name?
If you use your scanners to scan them, yes, it would tell you that.
Oh, okay.
But you guys had said you were basically being dark on that side of the thing, right? So just watching.
Yeah, we're just reading. We're not actively pinging out.
So 10,000, basically in this direction. So the bottom right, left-hand corner of the other thing.
Okay. I would just keep an eye on it then. Just make it aware of everybody.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Brian says, "All right, standing by to launch when necessary." All right. All right. In that case, go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay. Do you want us to click on the ship to roll initiative, or just do it individually?
Nope. I want all of you to roll. And
Alright,
then...
separate initiative because.
Yep.
And I remember we'll have to throw our character out, hit the initiative, and then delete it again.
Yep.
You guys go first. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that didn't work.
You rolled a nat 20 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I can't.
You guys go
I'm
first.
done.
Let's see. Captain got a 20 as well. All right. So it's gonna be you guys, and then whatever's coming your direction. Okay. Since I said you all get to kind of play the captain, what order are we going in? Who goes first? Like, what role goes first?
I'd say engineer.
So,
I'd say
NG.
go last.
Well, because we want your shields. You
we want
turn on shields, right?
Yeah, but we'd want me to go after whatever move action, so we know which. Because I got to pick a side to deploy them on, so I've got to go last to make sure
Okay.
I'm deploying it to the correct side.
Okay. So, do you want me to go first then for the move action?
Yeah.
Okay. So pilot first.
Pilot first. You have 2 guns, an engineer, and a captain.
So let's do pilot and then
Let's say pilot, captain.
captain, guns.
Gun.
Gunner with who's here first.
Yeah. All right. So pilot, captain, 2 times guns, and engineer is the way the turns go and how you guys work. You guys will be going in front of the enemy ships, which you do see them start a hard burn toward your direction. There are 3 of them coming your way. One of them is in the lead, with 2 of them probably arriving about 10 seconds after the first one would be.
Where are they?
They are
Bottom left.
bottom left, coming up hard and fast.
I can't see them.
They're not.
You
they're
can't
just
see them.
Oh, okay.
Space distances are massive.
Gotcha. All right.
But you can pick them up on your sensors before you can physically see them, yes.
Got it.
All right. So then I'll look over at Phoenix and be like, how about I just have us drift instead of hard burning straight at him? What do you think?
He's like, works for me. Take her
Cool.
out.
Then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just
Alright.
going to do it in a half speed and just
Okay.
kind of drift towards them.
So each square is 1,000. So go ahead and you have, if you're going half
3,500.
speed, you can go, so 1.5 squares.
Yeah. So
Or no,
Yeah,
excuse
just
me,
do that.
each one's 500.
500?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So that would mean we can go
so
3
it's
squares.
3 squares.
squares.
So 1, 2, 3.
Okay. After that, the captain basically says, all right. He says, let's do this one. All right. He says, all right. Not that I know what's going to happen yet, but brace for impact. Just in case they come in with something stupid like torpedoes. So everyone gets warning to brace for impact. After that, the guns. You look at your scanner, Wolf, and nothing is coming up because you don't have your scanners turned on currently. I guess the captain could turn those on. Would you like me to basically turn off or turn on your shit so you're not like radio black? Or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna kind of. What my thought was we were kind of drifting away from the thing, from the wreck, so that we're coming out of nowhere. Like we just pop up and we're like all turned on, and that's when we go to fight.
Okay,
That's kinda how I was
so
thinking
that's
that.
how it was work. Okay, yeah.
And does our ship have its own internal intercom system?
Yes.
Okay, so we'd be able to use that just fine because
Yeah.
it's not like radio out. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You're not actually transmitting your radio inside the ship, outside the
Yep.
ship. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you guys pop out there, half speed move forward, and as you can see, there are 3 what looks to be light corvettes coming your way. They have odd signatures. They seem to be something akin to like a project car or something. So it's like a lot of other pieces, but you can tell quickly that they are moving quite fast towards you. They are smaller class of ship than you, but so they'll probably be more maneuverable, but they're definitely not as hardy as you. So coming into range, here, and here. Wolf, you can do something if you want. You still can take normal actions for all you care, but there's nothing to shoot with the guns yet. That would be within range. So are you doing anything or just waiting?
You're muted.
I'm an idiot.
I noted.
So this would be the closest that I could see.
Yes, it could. You
We're not in range though.
you're not.
I know
you
that.
weren't within range. I just put them on the board.
I
yet.
know that. I was just saying. Can I just like aim at it? Just not aim, but not shoot.
You could ready in action. Ready in
Okay.
action is something the gunners can do. You can use your action to ready attack with a ship's weapon, just as you would an attack with a normal weapon. Often this ready action you use to target deployed weapons, such as neutron torpedoes, the moment they are launched, or strike another ship the moment it opens fire. So you could ready to fire once something's within range, or
Yes,
not.
That's what I would do.
Get all those red lines off there, you shithead. I can't see.
I'm looking at angles.
I gotcha.
Important.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I would do.
So these guys, they are that kind of guns. I got. Let's see, 9,000.
And then, so for my picking a side for the shield, is it basically one of the surrounding hexes?
A
Is
corner,
that how it's working?
a corner of the square.
A corner of our square.
Yep, the square you are in
Okay.
that you occupy. You basically can project the shield in a direction. One of the four boxes. There are options to give you another side and all sorts of other shit like that, but you can look at that as you go. All right, so coming in these things as engineer, it is your turn. You do get to go.
So I'm going to divert power from the missiles, and I'm gonna have it cover our two sides, basically.
Okay.
I will draw them.
Okay, cool. You put your shields up, and as you do, you can see they start to streak at you guys and enter your flight pattern. They move up to these positions currently and are closing in on your position. They seem to be targeting you and not the ship doing the salvage. No things come in and hail at all. But that is their turn, as they are finally within range of you, your like good visual sensors and stuff like that. And we go back to the top of the order, the pilot. What is it that you do?
Alright, that's when I look over at Phoenix and be like, let's turn this shit on. And then I'm going to just boost those engines. So full movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Each hex is how far?
It's 500.
500.
Oh, so
It's a
they-
5. Yeah, it's 500. Basically, just take all movement that you would normally do. Like if it's 30 feet or if it's 3,000 feet, yeah, times by 100. So a 5 foot square is 500 feet. So
Okay,
so forth,
but
yeah.
they were in range though last turn.
No, they just
They
moved
just got
into
in.
range
Oh,
right
okay,
now
got
is
it.
what I'm saying. Is they used their
Got it.
full move to get to the end of that thing. It's just
Got it.
I could make a bigger map, but
Yeah.
then
got
you're
it.
like, I gotta scroll down to see shit. It's weird.
So yeah, so I'm going to move. So I did our
Okay.
full movement, and then I'm going to start doing evasive maneuvers.
Okay. Evasive maneuvers. Anything special for that you need to roll?
Gains a +4 to AC until the beginning of my next turn. You can use your action to perform evasive maneuvers. Oh, instead of moving normally. Never mind, so we're just doing the normal movement.
Okay.
Have to read the whole thing.
Reading's
There it is.
hard, Nick.
Shut up, you.
You could do evasive maneuvers if you'd like, because your captain says full fucking speed ahead, and you can use your
Oh.
reaction to move.
Cool. Then I'm going to do evasive maneuvers then.
Okay. You begin. You
I'm
get
gonna full ahead by evasioning here.
well.
I'm just
yeah.
leaving.
He's starting to. He's like those like race cars when they come out
I got
the
it.
thing they like warm up their tires. Yeah. Except there's no tires. It's more like warming up the impulse thrusters and stuff like that. But yeah. All right. So you streak over to the side, start to take some evasive maneuvers, getting ready for anything that comes your way. He gives you the all ahead, and basically shouts over the intercom, "Get those fucking weapons ready, boys!"
Done and done, sir.
All right. And with that, gun number 1. So, Wolf, your turn. You can do this however you'd like. All right. So, a missile has a range of, I think, 6,000 feet, right?
6,000. Yeah.
So, 60 feet normal. So, yeah, that works. If it's within that, you can target it. So, basically, you press the button for the attack, and then you can also add whatever modifiers you would do. So your dex modifier, your proficiency modifier, go into the roll. So just make note of those. Don't change it on the sheet. Just make note of those.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, I add a +4 to hit or something. Also, any of your class abilities that allow you to shoot better may or may not help with your shit. As long as they can, as long as you can apply that kind of stuff to a ship weapon. If it doesn't specify a marksman rifle or something like that, you could apply it to there.
So we need to put you on the railgun because that's the space
right?
marksman's rifle.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, he's on missiles for this fight, or he could run up to the gun. It's all him. All right, this weapon mounted on one side of the ship. You can make attacks against targets within 90-degree cone. Your 90-degree cone is basically all the way forward and then one half of the thing, so you're fine. You fire the missile, a 16. What do you add to it?
+3 for dex.
So 19. Yeah, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the
Plus
damage.
your proficiency.
Yep.
Plus your proficiency.
What do I have proficiency with this?
Yes, you would add
Okay.
these to that. If you don't,
Military training.
the targeting systems and stuff like that would aid with it. So regardless,
+6.
yeah, regardless it hits.
Oh.
Just make sure you know when I'm firing ship weapons, I add +6. So
Okay.
15 points of damage. All right, you fire this missile, and as it streaks through the blackness of space before the other weapons start firing, you can kind of see it as you follow it on your targeting computer. Hit this one directly. They try to streak out of the way, but it smashes against them. The torpedo exploding, and as it does, it rips the shit out of this guy's shields. They drop instantly, and you can see the blast penetrates through some of the hull and does a little bit of damage. That was 15, so
21 because they didn't add his +6.
Oh,
no, the damage.
That
21.
was-
I don't care about the to hit. He rolled high enough on the dice to hit them. They're not incredibly
okay,
high.
so
I'm just looking at damage. Yeah.
Okay, got it. My bad.
Yeah, if you rolled like a 4 or something, I need to know. Yeah, if you had +6, that's a 10 to hit. So yeah, that's fine. But for the damage, the damage is just flat. There's no additional modifiers to that.
Okay.
But let's see, 15 damage to the ship. So 15. What's 15 minus 8? That's 7. So you do a modicum of damage. You can see some of that missile shrapnel rip through the front part of the ship before it starts to adjust fire. But after that, it is the next gun's turn, which is... Oh, also, make sure you subtract 1 missile from missile pod 1.
He shot a torpedo.
Or a torpedo from the torpedo slot. There you go. Alright, so the next shot will come from Ox. As Ox takes a shot, he is at a +5 to hit. So 9 to 5 is 14. That is
14, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, my math is dumb.
He fires at the same ship, basically trying to just keep on going. Or that was Lemmy, excuse me, not Ox. That shot is a missile, and it strikes as well. Dealing... I could just roll the missile. There we go. 10 force damage. The shield's already torn asunder on that one. That one goes directly into the hull. Direct shot, direct hit. Now it's Ox's turn, and I need to look up his character sheet. I have 55 other sheets open. I should probably make him go.
Uses his con to hit.
Yeah,
So like 5 + 3 or 2.
I believe you're right. Ox, there we go.
So
Character
+8.
sheet. 5 + 3, yep, 8. So he's got a +8. All right, so he lines it up, and he's like, all right, keep us on target, Leech. As you get him into a firing vector, he fires the light rail cannon.
Even when someone else is playing for him, he still
Rolls
can't
like
roll.
poop. Still good enough to hit, though, as the light rail cannon lines up perfectly. 18 damage. As that thing cracks the fucking bow of that ship, and you can see it actually start to list like this. The front of the ship's hanging a little bit from the force from the engines as it starts to bend. That thing is definitely almost catastrophically going down, as you can see the engine starting to sputter, stuff flying out of it, and the last turn is good old Lemmy with sweet sweet +3 to hit. That's fucking good enough by 1. As okay, and that was a large rail cannon goes down. You already took the shot off for the large rail cannon?
Yeah, I did.
All right, and then the missile from him.
Oh.
Lemmy gets that crit light. He already rolled a 12. I should just roll. Oh no.
Yeah.
I should just
Yeah,
roll
just roll
those
the
and
buttons.
then add
Yeah.
the stuff. Anyway, he does 10 damage to that, which is enough to destroy that one as it cracks fully the rest of the way in half. The missile detonates as your salvo just boom, nice little vacuum explosion shooting everything out the front of that ship, as that one is no longer even lit up on your HUD as being transponding. It's just systems down, kind of flowing back and forth. But that is all the gunner's turns. Engineer, you're up.
Alright, so just going forward, so the round that we shot the railgun would be the round that I couldn't take power from it, correct? Would make sense?
Yeah. Basically,
Okay.
next round you could take power from it
Yep.
if you'd like.
Yep, cool. Got it. So yeah, I'll put up 1 shield there.
Okay.
And
Alright.
that'll be it.
All right, you move the shield to that side, and as you do, that is your guys' turn. These ships come streaking in, and you can hear over comms they're announcing, "Surrender now, you gonna die!" You're not really scared by their...
As one of their ships blow up.
Yeah, as one of their ships is just, "Surrender now, you're gonna..." Fucking
Fireball.
torpedo, 2 missiles, and a rail cannon just... Kakoosh! This streak of plasma rips across the black. You're like, "Ah, shit, man!"
Really, this looks like D-Day
I
from
think
our
we
side.
fucked up. And the best part is they're going so fast forward they can't be like and skirt around, like they're full burning forward. So yeah, they continue their push, moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, moving a full sprint at you both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one right there. And they simply look at you. I don't even think they're close enough. Oh, they are, but at disadvantage for that one, and disadvantage for that one. Yeah, they simply open up, trying to hit you. I'm gonna put that on disadvantage too. Sad day. As autocannon rounds, you can see 3 batteries of autocannons on each, 2 top mounted, 1 bottom, just start ripping fire at you guys. The first one shoots. 21 definitely hits your guys' armor class, striking you for
We
6.
only have a 20 right now.
Striking at
Is
a
that with the +4?
Yeah.
striking at a 6 damage, impacting against your shield, but not doing too much. The second shot from them, 19 to hit.
No, just barely made it.
All right. For another 6. Or you just barely made it, or they just
Yeah,
barely
we
made it?
just barely made it.
Okay,
We have an
so yeah,
18-20.
on that one, they actually shoot wide and over, not even connecting the shield. And then the last shot from them, a 10. No, that one's still just unable to connect. The next ship comes in, firing. The first shot goes against your shields, and it's at such a bad angle that it just does not even drain them at all. Second shot, wow, you guys lucked out. That was a crit. That evasion just saved your booty hole. The second one, you can tell a dead-on shot, but your evasive maneuvers leech managed to dip or just turn the thing right as you could see the autocannon rounds skimming across where the right, like, kind of wing dorsal fin of your ship would be, barely missing it. And their last shot for the day goes wide as you made your maneuvers and spun out of the way. You can hear comms from the other ship go, "Holy shit! Keep them off us!" As you get that communication as that other ship's blowing up completely, and there's just streaks of auto cannon fire going against you, pinging off your armor. But that is their turn. It goes to the top of your order. Mr. Pilot, what would you like to do?
I'm going to maintain our evasive maneuvers.
All right.
And I'll look at Phoenix and be like, "You want to keep going? Let's do it."
He's like, I can.
I was looking to deploy our fighter. It's his action.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I could do that, or I could do it. I could give another fire at will too.
That's even better.
He's like, let's see.
I'd say give him a fire at will.
Yeah, he's like, all right, he's like, just be ready with those maneuvers. You still have to move though, because you still.
Oh, do you?
You have momentum.
It says I have to burn my action for it.
So.
You can use your action to perform evasive maneuvers instead of moving normally.
Let's see.
So this time he didn't move and he just did it.
Yeah, last time he let me burn my reaction for it though.
No. There is something.
No, I thought there was something that the captain did last time to make you.
No.
Yeah.
I know that. I want to double check. I didn't write it down. Wow, I fucked up. That's my fault, actually.
What?
Ship rolls, ship systems. No. Don't worry about it. When it comes to it next time, I'll fix it because there's supposed to be a rule. You have momentum in space. You actually have to spend your move to slow down as well.
Oh, really?
So it'd be like if you did a burn that direction, you'd keep going that direction, and you'd use your move to move less squares. But so that way you could be like, hard burn one turn in this direction, and we keep going that direction until I use my turn to stop going that direction. Yeah.
Okay. Now would that mean if he kept evasive maneuvering, we'd still keep that?
Yeah, you'd
going?
still keep that speed, and that's why I was like, that's what I would do. But I didn't write that stuff down because I'm taking this from a different game. It's still 5e. So I'm using it from the Mage Hand Press's Dark Matter fight because I was looking at it. I was like, dude, this is great. This is a great way to do it. And Ultramodern5 didn't actually have spaceship combat, which he's putting out another book, and he should put it in there. I think I read somewhere. If not, definitely should put that in there. It's awesome. But but yeah, I think that was in there. I'm not 100% sure. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep going. So you're going to keep your evasive maneuvers up. He's going to let you move again with that and say fuck the thing, so you guys can maneuver a little bit better, and then we'll go to the guns. So Wolf, your turn once more.
Okay.
So you can move up to your speed again, Leech.
Okay. So we'll do 10.
Remember, you can only turn 90 degrees. I believe that's your maneuvering speed, right?
Right. I'm only moving at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
From where we started.
Yep. Okay.
Unless I do a hard turn.
Yep.
That's where I can flip it.
Then you can do all crazy stuff. All right, but
so
yeah,
the
you move into play.
Do they stay up? And oh wait, no, his action comes after mine. Never mind. I know what to do.
Yeah, his shields are good. They are on the ship right there right now. So, all right.
Okay.
But yeah, Wolf, you're up.
Open fire on this one.
Okay. These poor people. Oh no. Oh no. Oh Lord Jesus.
What happened? You turned off your targeting computer.
Use the force. Oh man. Oh, so that's 30 points of damage. That's 30 points minus 8 is...
These are your people. How can you do this to them?
So
Technically, these are your people right now.
you fire another torpedo, and this thing they are trying to get up and get some altitude on you to like that Z-axis, to come down, and they just bring it up at the wrong time, and you go right under their shields pretty much and hit them right at the bottom. Hits the ship, blows out a huge chunk of the bottom, tears their front-facing shields just away from their own shrapnel, as they are just now bloodied as fuck as a spaceship. Just
Do свидания, Dumkovs.
Yeah, you blast that thing as it is not feeling good. Ox just yells out, "Reloading!" over the thing as he slams another assisted loading shell into the thing. Yeah, you're echoing bad, Trey, by the way. Just do Russian.
Go to push to talk.
I will forget to push it.
We'll tell you when you're muted, don't you worry.
It's all good.
That's why I don't use push to talk.
Alright, so the next one is Missile Boy, as he takes a shot. He's at a +4, I believe I said, right? Oh, nice. As he connects again for 9 points of damage onto that one. As that ship gets hit with another missile, after the torpedo cracks into it, you can see he follows the same just path that the torpedo took and hits inside, kind of smashing inside the decks. And that is Weapons' turn for this round. And then that would go to Engineer. Your turn.
Alright. So I will go ahead and take the power from the railgun, deploy onto the two sides as listed, and I'll regen our shield points.
Alright. How many do you regen?
Back up to full, because we only lost 6.
Okay, cool. I didn't remember if there was a limited amount or however it was.
We get half per turn.
Okay.
Like, unless I do the redirect shield like I just did, so I'd get the full amount after this turn.
Okay. Alright. With that, it is their turn. This one, the one that is damn near destroyed. Wow. I think he would do that, yeah.
I was like, how do I play these people that are about to all get sucked into the vacuum of space?
Hey, move your mic boom down.
Your mic.
Every time you breathe, I'm just hearing Vader. Unless you're Darth Vader at this point, and then it's like you could fucking choke slam these guys through. Your fucking. I use the Force next turn.
You're
And...
so Vader, you could choke them through space.
Funny, like a fake destroying.
Well, let's do that. I think that's a move that he's gonna try. Okay. You can see them. They course correct and come right at you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they attempt to ram their entire ship into yours. I need a piloting check, please.
Yeah, I'm coming back. You have to ram us while I'm getting some cookies.
I'm sorry.
How it works. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, piloting check. Here we go.
$17. Alright. Let me see. Boop, boop, boop. That is...
Did they, of course, change course and decide I didn't? Yeah, there's only so much I could do.
Well, yeah, you did what you had to do.
Yeah.
That is a...
I need a third side, and then I could always protect this. Give me one more side to play with.
Alright. So, they make an attack against you guys. You will half the damage because of the piloting roll.
Cool.
By the way. So a 13 plus 4 is a 17. I think that hits you barely, right? That is your armor class?
Our AC is at 20.
20? Okay.
20.
Alright.
Oh, that's right.
So they come streaking at you and just try to hit you, but you juke out of the way, and they just barely skid across just the shields and go past you. They're basically in the same square as you, but they're basically on top.
Okay.
But they missed with their attack.
But we prefer being on top.
You know, sometimes you gotta be the
It's the
bottom,
power
man.
position.
You know, right? All right. These guys turn as well, and they just simply move a few bits and just open up fire on you best as they can. 3 more shots from the autocannon. I believe the 20 hits. Other than that, everything else misses, right? All right, 1 more hit for 9 points of bludgeoning damage against your shields as it sprays against there. And you all have comms, and they are broadcasting openly. Wolf, this affects you. You hear them say some shit in Russian. Maybe not good Russian, but it's definitely the kind of stuff you grew up hearing in the gang. They basically say, "For the Brotherhood." And that's what they do, is they attempted to kamikaze into you, but fucking missed. These guys are so bad. And the other one's just like, you hear the other ones open comms for the Brotherhood, and they're spraying bullets. But that's it. And that goes to your guys' turn, pilot, top of the order. You have a ship right on top of you, but you've maneuvered out of their way.
I'm going into dogfighting.
Okay. And what does that do?
So, your ship is a Corvette size or smaller. Smaller ship of the same size or classification is behind you within. Oh, they're on top of us, so they're not. Behind us.
I would say.
I consider that.
I'd say you can make your piloting check at disadvantage to do it. But yeah.
Okay.
So
on a success, following several tight turns, you switch places with the ship. The direction of the ship faces towards the
it's
sun.
gonna be a tough one to beat. Oh, they're at disadvantage, or you're at disadvantage, so yeah. They're good.
Well, they don't have to make a check.
Got that 20 twice.
It said, isn't it opposed?
Nope. It's just for me to switch spots with them.
Oh, well then make your check. No, it says make a check contested by the other ship. On a success following several tight turns, you switch places. But yeah, you still managed to beat them. They rolled a 20, and you got a 24 on yours. They are not the best pilots. They roll, and as it takes you a little bit of extra time, but you eventually do end up behind them. The direction of those ships face remains the same, and I'm going to say he is here, and you are there, and you guys will spin him this way.
Okay.
You're upside down, but you're going after him. But you get into danger close position for them. All right, Captain. He yells at Ox, "Open fucking fire!" Danger close on that one, and he takes a shot with the light rail cannon on that, and I will roll that once I bring up the sheet. Light rail cannon, 10. Ox adds 8, so that's definitely a hit. Yeah. There's no like you're close, you get advantage. It just means they have less room to do stuff. You're actually within boarding range, but yeah, no. You line them up a perfect shot with that rail cannon, and it hits. Ooh, wow. That is some shit rolls. Oh, man.
Wait, can we reroll the ones? Are there ones? Yeah, reroll ones.
Why would he get to reroll ones?
Our
the captain
thing. Yeah.
Because he's a marshal.
Let me make sure. I think that's firearms attacks. This would be a ship weapon attack, but let me check. You might be right, actually. We'll see. Not at all. One is attached to a ship and requires a ship to fire. The other one is a weapon you can use. Remember what that one's called, by the way?
No. I just know it's one of his abilities.
I was looking at the wrong sheet. Anyway, so.
Yeah. My sheet won't help you.
Yeah. Strategic position. No, for the good of the team. No, team powers, control the battle theater. filament camera. W efforts.
Was it team power? I didn't see you go into that one.
No, he has his team powers listed. Tier 2. Allies reroll 1s and 2s on damage rolls. Personification of authority improves to +3. Your friends believe themselves better knowing you're around. Allies can reroll 1s on their damage rolls. Yeah, it doesn't say. So yeah, he'd reroll those. I'm just going to reroll the whole thing and add 3, because it's just easier that way. So we'll roll it again. 7, 10, so -3 to that's 20 damage. So wow, they didn't get a chance to bring their shields back up. They thought they were going to die. That actually kills them. As the rail cannon round rips through the back into the engine, and just you can see it come out the front and streak forward. Just
awesome.
Just rip it in half, as that ship is now listing away. Yeah, all right. Wolf, your turn.
Okay, so this should be pretty simple. Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, he's definitely within range. You got 60 foot on your missiles, or on your torpedoes. Torpedoes!
+6, so.
So 21.
Yeah, 21 definitely there. Armor class 14. Reroll that one. So roll a d10. We'll add that instead of the 1. Nice. 6 and 8 is 14. 15.
14.
6 and 8 is 15?
No, I added the 7, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was like, wait a minute. So that was 14 damage, was it?
Just to fuck with him as a Farsik Dilia Bratstva, which is Russian for the Brotherhood.
Oh, shit. Did you Google that? That's pretty hot.
You know it.
So 8 -6. All right.
You're looking so dapper today, Leech, by the way. I didn't get a chance to comment on it.
Sometimes so I wear my best in the battle, right? No. He fires the torpedo. It streaks out into the black of space, hits their shield, blows it. Just you can see it like ripple away as the torpedo itself punctures in, and you see a nice, satisfying pop on your screen as you quickly load another round. But that one goes right into it and it detonates fairly quickly. Lemmy gets a shot with the missile. There. And then fire. Oh, that one actually goes wide, though.
That's coming out of your pay, Lemmy.
First new shot of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't even pay, that's the worst
that one
part.
goes over the top, and he's like, dang it! But that is everybody except for engineering. What is it they'd like to do?
We recharge shield, and I put it over to our right side.
Okay. You charge up the shields on the right side, and it goes back to their turn. This guy, let's see, he can move 90, so he turns hard as possible. Actually, he can move 45. He will hard turn so he can go 90. So he is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as he pulls away, as seeing his other buddy just get split in half like a fucking loaf of bread. He's not liking his situation currently. So he moves that way, and that is their turn. You can see they're turning the guns, but their guns don't have 360 facing. They have front facing guns. And he's unable to shoot. But that goes back to the top of the order. Pilot, your turn. As you can see, fucking Phoenix just like, fucking chase those fuckers!
Yep, I'm gonna just punch the pedal and go. So,
gas!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright.
7, because we have 35.
Alright.
Sorry.
Yep, you do. Thanks to experimental engines. You fly quickly, closing the gap, putting you guys back within missile range, and even just keeping them out of range with their accurate fire with their autocannons. But it is the captain's turn as he looks at you and he says, nah, they don't need it. As he just says, "Lemmy, fucking make up for your mistakes right now." So Lemmy fires with a extra shot. He did it. He did
There
the
it
thing. Lemmy's,
He gets 2 attacks, right?
huh?
He gets 2 attacks, right?
Well, he'll on his turn he'll get an attack as
Ah,
well.
got
This
it.
was
Yeah,
a
follow-up.
this was a fucking fire at will shot. But yeah, and with that, guns. So Wolf, you're up. Ox didn't shoot last round. He's
No,
reloading,
he
right?
did.
Oh, he did.
No, he did. He
did
punched
shoot.
it.
Okay,
last round,
all right. So he's
so-
reloading this round. You hear reloading from Ox.
I would...
Might not even
Oh,
need it. Torpedoes seem to
so
be
24.
fucking these dudes up. Yeah, no, that's a strong hit. Oh yeah, 14 damage right in there.
From a Russian with love.
From Russian with love, I like it. The torpedo hits the engines, cracking into them. You can see one of them sputter out as they are floundering in space. You can hear from the other ship that you guys have been working with. He basically yells, he's like, keep those fuckers alive for us if you can. I want some fucking revenge.
Can we do an aimed shot at their engines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can target systems all you want. Otherwise, you just target the hull. You can definitely target systems easily.
I'd say our remaining shots go at that.
Okay. Engineer, your turn. Oh no, sorry. Lemmy gets his other shot. So Lemmy's gonna fire the missile one more time. Dude, that barely hits. The armor class is 14. He's got +3. So 7 more damage on those guys as that ship is just cracked. And he's like, fire at the what? But it is engineering's turn. Looks like you...
I deployed both sides.
Both sides of the thing? Okay.
Regened. Yep.
All right. Cool. With that, goes back to the top of the order then. Or no, it's them. Which I took their turn before you guys, didn't I? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah.
Because
He...
they strafed and I'm following.
Yeah. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say he was a little slowed from the thing. So, but he looks like he's evasive maneuverings, and you can see the shield on the back. It is your guys' turn, pilot.
I'm keeping pace, so
Okay.
I don't know if it would result. So match speed, it just says choose one ship that you see until the beginning of your next turn. The ship moves when the ship does and attempts to maintain the same distance from it and angle to it.
Mm-hmm.
If the target ship is more maneuverable, use hard turn to perform a movement you are not normally capable of. This effect ends.
Mm-hmm.
So is punching it, is just moving 6 better, or
Well,
or
if
moving
you
7? Or
so
is
if
the matching
you
speed
if
better?
you start matching speed there, basically
Yeah.
his move and your move are mirrored. So if he moved a square to the left, you'd also move a square to the left. It would
Okay.
be your now your movement speed would be based on theirs.
What they do.
Yeah, and as long as he's within your maneuvering cone, you move when he moves. So you don't have to use your action to move anymore. You could do things like evasive maneuvers or hard turns or things like that, or wait
Okay.
to burn quicker. So
Okay. Then that's what I'll do. I'll match his speed for my
Well,
turn.
but if you did that from here, we'll be out of range, won't we?
Will we? Okay. Then I'll just move up to 6. 1, 2.
if you're within 60, you can hit with all the missiles. If you're within like 9 or 12,000, you can hit with the rail cannon. So
Okay, we were at 60, so I guess we could do it from here.
Okay, so then I'll match speed. That's my action.
all right, the captain basically let's see, he'll give you the full ahead, so you can actually close with him a little bit if you'd like. That way you
Okay.
keep you guys a little closer. So
Okay, then I move 4.
okay,
4 forward.
and then the guns goes to Torpedo Boy.
You're muted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would aim for their engine.
Okay, shot with disadvantage, but it attacks that system specifically.
Roll that one again, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, God.
No.
Was it a 20 or a 1?
A 1.
1.
Ooh. So you go to load the torpedo and you get a big fail on the thing. It says torpedo jammed, and it does not fire.
Is it armed or active?
It is an armed and active torpedo.
That's not good.
I mean, it's up to you.
And you're like, oh man. Well, I mean, technically Ox has a shot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he shot it, it would go through the...
It does. It attacks on a line, so he could target that, but it also is going to hit everything in the line behind it. I guess he could try. He could try to hit that. I would say there's no real rules on that, but like, just for flavor, I'm just gonna shoot the engines. Boom!
It's a wing shot.
Yeah, can't he just take out the ass of the ship?
He probably could. But we'll let me try first. We'll let him give it a
I don't
go.
care if half their crew gets jettisoned, as long as the whole crew doesn't get jettisoned. That's all that matters.
Alright, he's gonna fire the missile with disadvantage, locking onto the engine signature and firing. Just barely miss. Oh no, he has a +3, so that meets his armor class. So
14,
that hits.
yeah,
Yep.
meter B.
So he does hit. All right.
Lenny.
12 points of damage to their 7 hit points left, as that hits the engine, destroying it, but not the ship. As you can see, its signal still on, and it's just slowly listing in space with the forward momentum from the rocket and its movement there. As you list with them, slowly matching speed, having to slow down a little bit, but not much. But yeah, and that is first attempt at space combat went pretty well.
That was fun.
I need to add a few little things because I'm pretty sure the movement continues. That's why matching speed's really cool.
Yeah, I think movement should continue because
Well, it's
we need
space,
to create
yeah.
like turning.
Well,
Especially because
there is turning rules.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, yeah, because I was placing shields based on where I thought they were going to be drifting to. So when you had them go into us, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously they can react to, like, they see you charge shields on sides and be like, oh, fire down the middle, or maneuver.
Is that a visible effect?
The shields would be something they could pick up on sensors. It's like, there's a large energy field on this side of the ship and that side of the ship. Yeah. I would say it'd probably be flavor if you actually want like a physical shield bubble around you or something, but I mean...
So, could that be an engineering action of mine to be able to basically tell where enemy ships' shields are deployed? Then?
You can just ask and I'll tell you. I don't think it's it wouldn't even be an action. It'd be like one of those things where, like, they'd probably have a readout of it out on the bridge, like, you know, they've charged their shields on the port side or something like that, or like they've got top bottom covered and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I would say if we want to, we could make that an action for you, or just a thing that the engineer can do, you know.
No, I have a new goal though.
Make shield.
Nick, I'm gonna need you to write me a program.
I
can do that.
We need a shield scramble program.
That'd be a great program. That'd also be a cool hacking thing, yeah. It would be very hard.
So I could do it. Yeah. You need to make it so that I could use it, but it'd be hard, but it'd make if it's random, so it could still be to where they'd accidentally deploy it in the right direction. I think that would make the DC a little bit lower. So make a system like that.
So they don't get to pick which direction it deploys, but it just deploys.
It literally is a shield scrambler. We don't get to pick, they don't get to pick. We just pick that ship and then we roll a dice, and that's where the shield deploys.
Might also be a good warhead. Might also be a good, like, missile warhead too. That, like, applies a debuff. Instead of doing damage, it applies that, like an ECM or like a radar jammer kind of thing. Yeah, no, but that's all good feedback. I'm gonna make notes right there. But yeah, that's good. But other than that, I think I like that. That's pretty easy because it keeps it in the D&D wheelhouse. Like, you move 6 squares, you shoot, it keeps the same action, stuff like that. Which I might expand some of the roll things to be bonus actions too, things like that. We can see how we go. But I mean, pretty easy for the first one. But yeah, so you have a derelict ship floating in the middle of space. They have not hailed you. Their power is on. They have no engines. You can see a few ship fires from holes, venting atmosphere, a few crew members floating out in space.
That's their problem.
Yeah, that's their fucking problem. And you can just hear them say, "Nice, you guys kept that ship alive. Fucking, if you can secure it for us, we'll pay you double."
All right.
All right. Wait. We didn't know what initial is, so what's initial before we know what double is?
It was $2,000. He was gonna pay you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna pay you half.
That.
Yeah, he's gonna give you
Okay.
2,000
It's
credits,
been a
half
month.
now, half later, half now, half completion. Plus, you get whatever's on the ship left over.
Alright, so yeah, we'll definitely do that for an additional
Yeah.
2,000.
Oh, you gave him revenge for his crew. I don't think there's a better thing a captain could wish for. So, yeah, no. Unless you guys do anything, what happens next?
We don't have an ubiquitous.
You do
so
not.
We have no way of boarding them.
Well, so he said he wanted them dead. Does he need us to go kill them personally, or can we just blow up their ship?
He said keep him alive for him.
He just told us if we went and finished it, they'd pay us double, right?
Yeah.
I thought he meant like secure it so he could come and get it.
They said don't.
So he could,
Yeah, just secure it so he can. He wants to board the ship and finish them off. Is what basically.
Oh,
what
okay.
it is.
So no, we
Yeah,
need to go on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there is a boarding action of the captain thing, so I'm assuming there's something we could do.
You could. It would probably involve a spaceship to spaceship close thing, and then you guys using spacesuits to jump out and probably jump into their ship area, since you don't have an umbilicus, which might be difficult. You might want to keep your pilot on board for that.
Probably a good plan.
Or, I mean, you could secure them by just making sure they can't do anything. They're at 0 hit points and rolling catastrophic failure shit. So,
Are there PDCs deployed?
uh,
Are there autocannons deployed?
their autocannons are, but remember, they're only forward facing, so if you stay behind them,
okay.
they cannot hit you. And if you're matching speed with them, if they rotate, you rotate, so.
I'm gonna go get onto our I'm gonna gather our able-bodied men and get onto our smaller ship.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna get over there.
Corona says, I don't mind handling the navigation and piloting if you would like to accompany the team, Leech. Or Anders. She wouldn't call you Leech.
I would change that so she does call me Leech.
Okay. Well, you could just ask her. She's an AI. She's not.
Oh, okay.
She's not like, I'm gonna hack your program. She's like, get out of there. What are you doing? I'm like looking under my dress. What are you doing? It's not okay.
I'd
Fucking-
actively change it back to Anders every time you change it back.
Don't call me that. I like Leech. Yeah, I would look at I'd look at the screen that has Corona's face on it and be like, all right,
She's
don't
like,
prove Ash wrong, or don't prove Ash right. That's what I care about.
Okay.
As I grab my helmet and I start running towards the
Ox
the back of the
says,
ship.
I'll stay here and man the guns. Wolf, go lend them an aid. I think precise shots on a spaceship that's de-atmosphered is better than a lot of machine gun bullets or exploding lumps of meat. So that's your wheelhouse. So
Okay.
yeah, Phoenix is like, I got the helm. Take Tex with you too. I think Femoral can handle the stuff.
It's real easy. Keep the shield pointed at them.
Affirmative. Will do. All right, and the three of you are going to try to basically get close and then jump out of your spaceship into their spaceship into the vented
Well,
at
so
hole?
would the smaller ship have a way to dock better?
It'd probably be
Since they're not
easier
for
to,
one
to
side.
like wedge it into one of the holes, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna suggest Lemmy takes our space freighter. We get in the little cargo container inside the smaller one, and have him just fucking do like a drifting drive-by and just launch it, and we just go crashing in through the hole that we just made in their ship.
You could do that. You would probably sacrifice that
Yeah,
container.
That container? I'm okay with that.
I'm not,
Why not?
because those cost money, and the whole reason we're doing this is money, Nick.
Gotta break an egg to make an omelet, I guess. I don't know.
we could risk our bodies over risk our stuff. Come on, Nick.
All right, I'm down to get in an airlock and just kind of I see this.
Just-
we're gonna just let it decompress and just shoot us out.
There it is. All
One
right.
of us is gonna die. This is how.
So,
this is how it happens.
who has a sealed spacesuit?
I bought one.
Everybody has one. You guys all bought one, remember?
Okay, good.
Oh, nice.
They are not combat rated. One
Mine
whole
is.
one whole of the if you had a personal one you bought, the ones you did buy that are for everybody are not combat rated. You get one hit on you, that thing is now punctured and useless unless you patch it. Which you did buy patch kits as well. So you might want to get over there, get inside, and then
Yeah, I'm gonna
not-
take some of those patch kits with me as well.
okay.
As well.
All right. So, with that said, I'm gonna go.
You guys
back
all
to
have like NASA spacesuits on, and I'm actually still in my battle armor. Like,
Yeah, I just
hey,
put my
man, what's-
helmet on and
Yeah.
select the.
Just lock it in. I'm good to go.
All right. So with that, let's see. So any preparations before you roll over there, or how you want to do this?
I'm going to grab my drone.
Okay. You now have your drone.
Yep.
I'm gonna cinch all my gear down. I don't want anything free floating that I
Okay.
could get hung up on.
Not a problem. You take a few minutes to cinch all your stuff. Wolf, anything special?
No, not really.
Okay.
You have that grappling hook gun, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking tether onto your ass.
Yeah. Good idea.
Just like tethering on, and I'm gonna just be like, if you
Tether
float
onto the
away,
guy.
I'm floating away with you. So we'll go together.
It's
I'm
a
cool
good
with
idea to
this.
tether onto the guy with the Batman zip line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll look over at Wolf and be like, you should probably tether on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might be a good call.
We're all ass to ass next to the airlock, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me do one thing real fast.
I've got my grappling hook in one hand. I'm gonna give you the drone controller, Nick.
All right.
I've got the drone in my other hand.
Sorry, I'm trying to make a battle map on the fly. Boop. Advanced. Set dimension. Whoops. Advanced. Align to grid. That's a 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Align to grid. Oh God, that's huge. Oh Jesus. Okay, you know what? Yep, fuck this. This is what we're gonna do.
We can always do a theater of the mind.
It ain't.
So-
Yeah. I'm gonna put this up for my for your guys' visual so you can see what the ship looks like, and then we're just gonna go. You're in this room. What do you do? You're in this room. What do you do?
Okay.
All right. So here we'll throw you onto that
The room
pseudo
with people alive, we make them not alive.
battle map. All
Right.
right.
For scale is 4 fucking boxes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's
a super pilot.
they're massive. Welcome to the
Bigger than the bunks.
the
My
Jotun
God.
Brigade, yeah. No, you guys enter in what would be the left side, the left side bunkhouse, which has been blown out, destroyed, just completely destroyed. Who's piloting the thing?
I am.
Okay, so you're just gonna pilot and then jump out?
Oh no. I thought we were just having the Nightingale pull up alongside it. Like,
Okay,
out
so
of
you're
their
so
frame
you're
rate,
doing
and then
that
we're
one.
just jumping.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna spacewalk it.
I thought you were
Yeah.
still using the entropy, but that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, no, that's fine. You can try to do it out of the Nightingale. As you guys get close and you're kind of comfortable about where you're gonna go, you guys have control. If you feel you're comfortable, open up the airlock hatch, and I'm gonna need a perception from the person in front, and then acrobatics from everybody all together.
That's you, Greg.
Yep.
You're the perception guy.
Yep. And the acrobatics guy. Unfortunately, my perception is not the best, but my acrobatics is pretty good.
I thought I just need the perception from the person in front.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the one in front.
I don't know if you were the one in front of my bad.
So you can see
Yeah, I got
there's
that.
definitely some shit that you guys are going to bump into by coming in here. Bits of things of detritus that were inside, as well as bits of the ship that are still kind of there, as well as there's no fires, but there's definitely loose electric in there. So watching out for that will be important. I don't want to get flying through the air, hit an electric wire, short out your suit, get unconscious.
Luckily, what you all didn't realize is you have the expert at this situation, as I have a grappling hook in my left hand and thrusters on my right, so I can literally adjust us between the two.
There you go. The acrobatics, you guys are tied off to him.
Yes. We're
So
tethered to him.
are you basically just gonna go like limp, like little baby kittens, and he's taking you
kinda
across?
good, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm gonna say it's a -2 for each. Still an 18. Using your thrusters on your
So
rocket
basically
hand to do it.
Spider-Manning through this thing. So I'm basically either using the grappling, and then when I need to, so I'm using the grappling when I need to correct this way, and I'm using the thruster when I need to correct that
Okay.
way.
Use up. Let's say 2 charges of the thruster fuel or the battery or whatever it is. And yeah, you're able to fish your way through as you kind of push aside huge chunks of metal. What was probably a bunk at one point. Some exposed cables. You managed to get your thruster to push them away. Use the grapple to pull you past a bunch of floating debris. 4 or 5 dead crew member in here. And you can see the door, as you get up to it, is flashing red. There's a big red light on it.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume there's not oxygen across that side, and that's why.
I don't know. It's your call. You're basically at this door, this top door right here.
Is there anything we'd have that could detect atmosphere?
Like
whether there's
I don't know. What do you have? You tell me.
No. I'm going to send my drone out.
Okay. What kind of drone is it?
It would be a propeller drone, so if there is not...
So it does nothing. It just floats there in the propeller spin.
It would go if I'm... So basically I'm going to chuck it.
Okay. Where? You're in basically this section of the hull, right here. There's a door here, and there's a door here. But it's all exposed to space. So you can...
Yeah, so basically I'd be pointing at doors, and then based on which door we go to, I'd throw it through whichever door we open.
Okay, so which door are you opening? That would be the first step.
The top one.
Okay. So you're going to try to open that door and throw the drone in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You hit the panel on the door, and it goes, flashes, says some words. Basically, it says error.
Oh, Leech, this one's a you problem.
Yeah, I got it. I would pull out my tablet real quick and start
Okay.
trying to hack into it. See if I can get into the system.
Right.
Here we go. Wow, that was a god-awful roll.
You can get into the door system, and it basically says emergency lockdown. It says
Override it.
override or...
I'm gonna... Can I check in the system to see if they do have Atmo inside the ship?
From this door panel, you would not be able to tell that.
Okay.
You would need to try to use that door panel to get into the ship further. Like, further into firewalls and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that for a second and just be like, hang tight, boys, and I'm gonna pull the panel out and start attaching my
Okay.
shit to it.
Okay.
Going in the hard way.
Next roll, then.
Okay.
That is
That's a
in.
roll.
That is in, and that gets you into the second layer, which is the ship basic maintenance layer, which allows access to doors, vents, basic readouts. You do not see there is no electric to this half, the back half of the ship. All of the electric there is emergency only, and you can see even that is quickly failing. It's like
Okay.
dropping 1% a second, and it's about in its 30s at this moment. Basically, you would imagine anything from the entry hatches up front to the forward part of the ship has power and stuff like that. Everything else does not.
Okay.
I'd just say, just tell life support to pump CO2 instead of, or to pump just carbon dioxide instead of oxygen. Give them a nice little nap, and then we'll send them in.
Yeah, let's fuck with that. I'm gonna change the O2 levels so that.
All right. Give me
I
a
don't want
computer
kill 'em.
check.
Okay. I just want to drop it low enough so that they fall asleep.
Give me a
Yeah,
computer
I'll
check
check.
to see if you can do that.
Okay.
Not a firewall check. Computers. Yeah. All right. And then give me a medicine check to see if you know what that percentage is. Or if you want to just shout out a number, maybe that's the right one. Or maybe you'll kill them and you don't know. And no Googling, Nick. This is a dice roll situation. I want to see the roll. 17.
I rolled.
A 17.
17.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. Oh, okay. If I up it this
There's
much.
no big
yeah.
red button of medicine like there is with engineering.
it
worked last time.
Yeah. If the knowledge
Where's
of
the
the,
biggest button? I
of the
pressed
human
that one.
body.
It worked.
Huh. I guess that's what I gotta do. No, you look in, you're like, okay, drop these down, put them to about, 25, 26%. That'll work.
And just hold position with everybody, and can I flick through the security cameras to see if I can see if anybody's passing out?
Sure, but it still follows hacking rules, and you need to do another thing to either stay in, or you need to...
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in.
No, yeah, you need to just stay in and maintain it, really.
Yeah, okay. Then that's what I'll do.
And you know as a doctor how long that would take.
Depends on A, how much oxygen is stored in those rooms, B, how hardy and healthy those individuals are, and those are A and B. There should be some C's in there, but they're really not needed for a role-playing game. So.
I'll get on my radio for Nightingale and be like, Phoenix, let the other crew know that we are slowly depleting their oxygen. We don't have a way of getting on board without completely destroying the atmosphere.
Luckily, they have an umbilicus, so it's fine.
That's exactly it, yeah. Just trying to neutralize everybody inside. That was kind of my goal.
Glad I had that idea. Huh?
It was good.
Okay. A couple minutes go by, and maintaining the entry point into their system is not hard. You can see someone is looking at it, but they aren't even trying to fight you to get out.
Okay. Just gonna hold it.
Okay. And yeah, eventually, were you looking at cameras, I think you said?
Well, I wanted to, but you said I needed to stay in to maintain the.
Well, yeah. I mean,
atmosphere changes.
you know how you do your hacking. Like, you still
Right,
have to
yeah.
maintain the open thing, or else that you have to start over from the thing. But I mean, there is other actions you can do to take it. Just might cause an expenditure of resources or something like that. I mean, you are a level 1 freediver, so I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, a whole level 1.
You tell me what you can do with your stuff. As far as I'm
gonna deploy my file search program. So there it is. So I want to check out their program, what they were doing and that kind of stuff.
There's really not like mission parameters set
Right.
at all. You actually don't even see a ship's log at all.
You actually just see a beer list.
There is an in and out checklist of the port that you just came from. That's it. Basically, stuff that gets auto-logged by the port authority kind of people.
Okay. Were they checking our ship out, or were they checking out the salvaged crew? According to their logs, were they looking at us or them?
They had scanned you guys. They scanned a broad area, and they saw the wreckage, and then you guys popped out. So they didn't even get to scan the other crew yet.
Okay. So I'm just going to stay in the system, just maintaining.
Okay. Minutes go by, unless Wolf or Tex has anything to do. Eventually, the other ship comes up. And, they say, all right, we'll take it from here. We appreciate it. And you can see the little umbilicus go connect to their entry hatch.
Then I'll just pull my leads off of it, stash it.
Okay. Just going to leave the atmosphere the way it is. Awesome. All right.
Well,
they're going to die anyway.
We're all in field suits, so...
Yeah. You can head back to the ship fairly easy. You cleared the path with your rocket hammer or your rocket fist beforehand, so it wasn't too bad. You fish your way back in, and then shoot back over to the Nightingale, which has been matching speed perfectly and hasn't moved out of your sight at all. The only slight deviation from seeing it in the position it was in is when you felt the other ship attach its umbilicus to their docking port, kind of listed to the side, and the Nightingale had to adjust. But another incredibly either brave, stupid, or lucky space jump from spaceship to spaceship, and you managed to land back in the docking bay of yours.
I'm secretly planned this the whole time.
I know, right? If that ship wasn't disabled and you can get that close, you would have had a lot worse things to worry about. If there was defenders on the other side, it would have been even worse. But yeah, you guys make it back to the Nightingale. The docking bay seals itself, and you are able to take off your suits.
Just pull off my helmet.
All I know is next time I'm either getting a combat sealed suit or an umbilicus before I do that again.
It
I
was
thought
a
it
little
was
scary.
pretty fun. A little ballsy. Very exciting.
Yeah, I'm glad I had that idea.
It wasn't bad. You can hear a minute later from the other ship. Alright, you guys fucking did it, man. Permission to dock with your ship.
Sounds
Granted.
good.
He's like, awesome.
I am going to be combat ready when they do that, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna. I'm not gonna like have my gun at the ready, but it's just slung like just hanging in that 3-point position.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys make your way towards the docking bay, basically where the best place for them to connect to you. You really don't have a full thing. Everything comes in and out of the cargo hatch at the front of the ship. And as that does, you can see the umbilicus breaks through your little energy field that provides the seal. It opens up and out comes Captain Johnson, a couple other of his dudes, and what looks to be like, as it opens up, you can see in the back of the umbilicus, there's like 4 or 5 of those, black, yellow, and green, or black, white, and yellow and green striped jumpsuits just slumped over in the corner of their umbilicus. And one of the guys coming out, you can tell he had been in a firefight. There's a few patch suits on his suit there that look rather fresh. As the lot of them go, that was fucking absolutely fine work. This ship is absurdly awesome. He's like, this is a beautiful piece of machine. I don't know what we would have done without you guys, and I am frankly happy you accepted my meager pay for this job. You guys are a warship. I don't know what the hell's going on. And he's like, but you did really good. And he tosses you a bag that has 2,000 credits worth of secure credits in it.
All right.
Yeah, gold secure
Thank you.
credits.
How much was that?
2,000 credits worth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be 4,000, right?
No,
No,
it's 2,000.
2,000.
1,000 before, 1,000 after, and then he said he'd double our afterpay
Mhm.
because we gave him the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got
you
it.
fucking greedy prick over here trying to get $4 grand out of him. Motherfucker just gave you $3 grand to shoot down 3 spaceships. That's pretty good.
Hey, man, we gotta pay for ammo. That's not cheap.
It's not, but $3 grand will cover it. I think the torpedoes are the most expensive, and they're $75 a piece. And you went through
Not
like
to mention-
4 of them, so
Yeah.
Hey,
Was there
Well, we
anything?
shot 4 today.
Is there
Go ahead.
anything savable on their ship? I'd ask him.
he's like, these things, their ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take whatever scrap off of these fucking hunks of junk you want. They're pretty much just crew quarters with an engine strapped on, a life support system, an umbilicus, a reinforced front, 3 shitball auto cannons, and probably the worst run computer system I've ever seen.
Yeah, we could strip it abacus on some of those fucking cannons. Possibly.
Did you say abacus?
Or
I was about to ask that.
umbilicus is what I meant to say.
He's like, damn, that's some old school shit.
I'm sure they had one of those too, right?
I don't think
Right?
these guys know how to add. If it wasn't for computers, they'd be dumb as shit.
Yes, they do. They did drugs. All right, drug dealers are great mathematicians. Thank you. They're really good with fractions.
He's right. He's right.
Did you salvage anything good off that other ship?
He's like, oh yeah, we got what we came for. We appreciate your help.
So now we have, what, 3 ships as well as that ship to go salvage?
Mm-hmm.
Could you help us get the umbilicus off their ship?
He's like, unfortunately, I'm on a time crunch. He's like, we gotta get that cargo back to our buyer. But he's like,
That makes sense.
he's like, ain't nobody gonna come out this way. Nobody knows this place is here, except for us and the 3 motherfuckers you just aced out of the sky. He's like, they might have backup. You might want to ghost this place for a little bit and then come back. He's like, or you can just get to it. And he's like, but honestly, these 3 hunks of junk aren't worth anything. He's like, I guess if you want the umbilicus, but shit, you can buy those in better quality than these. Probably have to repair these ones up a bit.
Alright.
I'm already putting on my suit to go fucking strip that shit, so.
Okay. Not a problem. He's like, but yeah.
I'd ask, what kind of ship was that you guys were salvaging? We don't know ships well enough to identify these things.
An old warship. He's like, probably one of the first, 2nd generation warships that are out there.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
He's like,
It's retro, I think they call those, right?
well, let's just say the things they used, they didn't have refined as well, so there was a lot of it on there. And that's kind of expensive to the right people who know how to refine stuff, like my buyer. So, he's like, but, yeah, man. He's like, appreciate everything you did. You guys got my number if you need someone to scrap stuff for you. After I drop this thing off, I'm your man. Prices are, I'll give you guys a discount for watching my back. How about this? First one's free. Then I'll give you the friends and family after this.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
to me.
He's like, me and my crew got a little bit of revenge to get, and then we'll be out of your hair.
Alright.
Goes up and shakes
totally shake
everything.
his hand.
Yeah, every single one of you gets a good stern handshake from him. So he just kind of has a ear-to-ear smile.
And this is why you listen to the special people at the port.
He's like, oh yeah, I reckon I learned something mighty big from this. Special people sometimes can make you a lot of money. And with a tip of an imaginary hat, he says, have a good one, before he steps off, unless you guys have any other interactions you want from him. It's very quick, fast, dirty business, and he's gone.
It's alright, that's what we wanted.
And he, like he says, you can see, he sits outside of your ship for maybe about a minute, and then he takes off, and floating in space are several spaced bodies of probably guys that were on that ship.
And I'm basically like, alright, whoever's not fucking doing shit that's important is gonna help me come strip this shit. Come on.
Alright, I'll redo my O2 system on my suit, and I'll be like, I'll help you.
Okay.
We're all just gonna get out with the fucking power tools and fucking strip off the umbilicus.
Okay, give me an engineering check. Or a tools check if you have that.
Let's see which one's better.
Well, you already made it engineering, so.
Alright. I don't know
Um,
why I clicked twice.
I was helping him, so I don't know how that would work.
he just needs a hand, or else he wouldn't be able to do it by himself, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm assuming you're following his lead, so.
Yeah.
You know you can take it off. Probably take a good hour or two, and then you have to stow it in your ship.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to take up the remainder of the space in there until you can install it somewhere.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming it probably need a little bit of repair work, so.
Yeah, as you pull it off, you can notice this thing is basically, if you had to put it into game terms, it's at half hit points.
So I figure we go
it needs to
strip
be
another
repaired.
one, and then between the two, we gotta work in one.
Yeah, you could definitely salvage parts off the other one, which would be a lot easier than taking it off. So.
So that's what I'd recommend we do. And then, do we care about stripping the or I'd say we go through the inside after each thing we I'd say can we control explode a missile to just open up the other ones, or are they already opened up?
Well, one of them's basically split in half from a railgun, so
Okay.
it's fairly opened up. The other one has a large gaping hole in the side as well, and this one basically has a hole from the back to the whole side of that crew compartment from the engines to there. So.
I'd do the equivalent of a field space search.
Okay, give me an investigation checks. Wow.
Oh my
We
god.
both suck.
You guys pick through what you can tell are the main areas, other than a little bit of kind of shitty, questionable food. Some coolant, if you really wanted to, off of one of the ships. But it's not... Looking at it, you can see it's definitely not the color of coolant you put in yours. So you're not sure as to how clean or useful it would be. Could salvage some of that. Most of the systems on the one split in half are completely catastrophically destroyed. Actually rolled its catastrophic checks and it failed 3. That thing should actually be atomized. It should not even be in space, but I like the idea of it getting cut in half with a fucking railgun. So it's floating out there. And most of the shit that you would salvage it's probably spun out into space at this point.
Oh yeah, that's why I said
Yeah,
field
yeah.
search. That's why I'm not doing it in
Yeah.
depth. I'm just.
Yeah, and then on the other one...
If I see a fucking piece of candy out of the air, I'm grabbing
yeah,
it.
ooh, piece of candy, yeah. Out of the other one, you don't find much in the way of things that would be useful to you. You find a lot of, like, household stuff, but it's, subpar shit you would buy probably at that mall you blew up. There is a few interesting things. A safe, and part of the cargo hold looks like it had some crates in it. There's a few in there, but no idea what would be in there.
Get it in.
So
We'll
you-
crack that shit open later.
So two cargo crates and what looks to be a single safe that is locked currently.
I'm so glad I'm not a blue person in this campaign.
Yeah, ammo is just spread out everywhere, but you don't really have autocannons, so
Yeah.
How strippable are those?
it'd take time, but you could do it.
Well, John said they're kind of shit.
They're just low tier. They're the high point of autocannons.
Gotcha. You're speaking
They
my
are
language.
they're yeet cannon 10,000s.
We don't want those.
No,
That's
no
what
yeet
he's
cannons.
telling
All
us.
right.
Well, but
We
I
don't
mean,
want that.
they'd be in a slot that we don't have occupied right now, right?
Well, let's see. Throw you back to your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Both your fighter bays are done. You have 2 medium weapon mounts, which both have missile pods on them currently. You have your multi-purpose torpedo bays, and you have 4 PDC emplacements. So you technically all your slots are open, or all your slots are done, but you could swap out you could easily store the missile pods and their ammo in your cargo bay and put an autocannon and its ammo on there and have a interchangeable thing if you wanted. Otherwise, you don't really technically have slots. You could try to make some, but that would require a lot of engineering and stuff like that.
Expenditure and time we don't have. Alright,
Not
so
not for
now we have-
field
we have left is
expedition.
PDCs.
We don't have a slot open, so we're good.
Mhm. Okay.
I thought we did.
You are technically a missile corvette right now with a large railgun on top. But yeah, so no, not a problem. You strip that stuff, and then are you going back to the large ship that they said you could take whatever else you want off of? Okay.
Yeah.
That one.
In this world, the demons are.
All right. Oh.
Space Demon Deeps. Oh my God, it's Dead Space. Love it. Let's do it.
You don't think I didn't take shit from Dead Space? Because I totally took shit
Dead
from
Space,
Dead
I'm
Space.
running.
I don't think it'll be right now, though.
John's like, or you think it's not right now.
No, I think we did our combat encounter already.
Who says there's not more?
What there is you think.
Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm hypothesizing.
Okay, so in there, you find a lot of old tech, a lot of old, odd tech, and this is a ship that all of you could be on and explore. Its life support's running, its backup power is running for probably about a day and a half, and then it's gonna go out. Sealed for the most part, except for that one part that got cracked in half. That's up front, so you could You could try to search those little small pieces, but that's where they were working, so you're fairly certain that's probably where they would have taken stuff from. But this whole back section, which is like living quarters, supply, and stuff like that, hasn't really been touched. You could go through there if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay. So as you do, the first thing that strikes you is this is a very oddly decored ship. There is what you would call an extensive amount of gold plating or brass plating stuff. You really can't tell. It looks almost like a moving cathedral. Like this whole thing looks religioned out. Very hardcore.
I smell syntax.
Good.
So do I. That was the first thing I thought of.
The crew quarters that you go into look more of like a military barracks than they do anything else. It's like 3 stacked bunks in a row. Like there's a big dividing wall, 3 stacked bunks, 3 stacked bunks, 3 stacked bunks, other side, 3 stacked bunks. And it looks like it can hold like a good 60 to 70 people in this whole thing. Definitely like a Marine contingent or something like that, or like where all the lower enlisted probably would have chilled if this was a military vessel kind of thing. Which he said it was a warship, so it makes sense. But the thing is, most of the skeletons in this place, because there are skeletons and mummified crew, are in their beds. They died asleep. Don't know how or why, but yeah, there's.
I'm sure medical check might.
You could if you'd wanted to, but
Give me a minute,
he's
gotta
also
finish peeing.
he's also peeing. Yeah. You can see they have uniforms. On that, the uniforms are black and yellow.
Do
Have
I
like
know
a
anyone that used a black and yellow thing with that?
Diadem.
and Diadem also uses black and yellow. This is a little different than Diadem colors, though. Different kind of yellow. The yellow looks to be all of it seems to be in like a shape of what you would consider like a bird, like maybe a falcon or something on one side, and then there's a stripe. There's some of them that have multiple stripes, probably some sort of rank denotation, something like that.
Are there any of their limbs or anything like elongated at all, as opposed to a human's?
Elongated?
Yeah.
That would be a medicine check. Anders, you're looking at this. The best you can tell, they decompressed very quickly. Froze to death, and
They
suffocated.
didn't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Hit them too fast. Okay. Do they all look like normal humans?
As far as you can tell with that check.
Okay.
No cybernetics. None at all.
Interesting.
There is, as you move through that crew quarters into what would be supply and mess, again, it is almost cathedral-like. There's prayers written on the walls or writing written on walls in a language none of you speak. It looks old, like you might have seen it on some artwork once upon a time, but don't know what it is. As you make your way into what is an armory.
No, I'm looking for personal effects specifically, like pictures of people.
Okay. So you're gonna go into there and look through like bunks and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through like stuff like that. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm curious.
You got time, and as you open it up, you can see what looks to be happy families, human, smiling faces, taken behind what looks to be like you'd probably modern day equivalent like a European city, so like modern style buildings, but with like rustic brick kind of castle type walls and stuff here and there, and like old school like building next to like a high tech like looking thing, but hundreds of years ago high tech, not anything like nowadays.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Mhm. Like
Time period.
yeah, if you had to place it probably a couple hundred years ago,
Yeah.
probably when they were basically barely touching space. Like
Cool.
this was probably
This was a colonist ship.
this could have been the cutting edge. Like this was probably billions and billions of credits to even be conceived and then made. Yeah, moving through there, you see a couple more people. Give me a perception.
And then who's Whose perception?
You.
Me?
Are you just looking through one guy's stuff or multiple?
No, I'm looking through multiple. And then also, is there different sizes of people? Did they all look adults, or were there like shorter ones?
Like you're looking for halflings?
No, I'm looking for children.
There's some children, yeah. There's some children in there.
Cool.
I
think I'm right calling this ship.
Could be, yeah. Looking in this, like the bodies, there's no children. But in the pictures, there's children.
Oh, that's what. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
While he's going through that, I'm looking for officer quarters.
Okay. As you look through, you do notice a couple things on these pictures. One, like maybe like the fifth or sixth one you go through, you note there is some writing on one of the backs of it's a physical picture. You turn it over. Do you speak? I forgot my own languages that I created. Yeah, we'll just say you speak it because you speak Kethrin. Written in like an old, kind of old-timey style Kethrin. It says Phoenix, and then it gives the date 2203. Jorg and Millie are the two names on there. And it says, I miss you, babe. Have a good flight. And then you see another picture. And this one is a single man, very well-to-do dress. Looks like military officer stuff. And he's in the back of what you can see there's two huge towering castles. You've seen something similar before in a picture. Give me a wisdom check to see if you remember it. You know you've seen those images, but you can't recall. No, you definitely can't recall where you saw them or what they were, but they look familiar. Now you're trying to go through officers' quarters. There are a few. Those doors seem to be locked. You would have to try to open them.
Are they mechanical? Are they electronic?
They are electronic.
Fuck it. Try to see. I'm gonna just check the GIA on my tablet to see if the ship is actually producing any signals.
Nope. It doesn't.
Nope.
It seems like it has signals, but none of them are things that your shit
You need
is.
a converter cable.
Yeah, it seems like there is signals being detected from it. It's just none of them are readable by the programs you have currently.
Okay.
You're trying to plug a CD player into a floppy disk.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even a floppy disk, more like a Betamax. Like,
Oh my god.
Like,
All right.
even farther back than that. What even further back? Like the old
I know
reel
it was
computers.
farther
Yeah,
before. I
the
didn't
old
know
reels.
it
You know,
was
like the
floppy disk.
magnetic reel computers. Yeah, this is 1 megabyte.
Most of my
Whoa.
work runs on fucking DOS, and we still use fucking floppy disks.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so my tablet's not detecting it. I'm gonna try to see if I can understand the loadout on the door to see if I can unlock it.
Computers or engineering or something.
The computers first.
You look at it, and it's written in an older version of computer language. Like, you input.
I speak all computer language. I speak.
You do.
Languages. I speak UCL.
Mm-hmm. So that's the universal computer language that was derived over a couple hundred years to make all computing done very easy for programmers to do.
Right.
This is before that. So this is... You understand most of it, though, with your check. You're like, I think I remember reading about some of these things. You try some of the commands, and they're similar, but you don't know all of them. But you're able to get rudimentary kind of like, I can navigate the system. With enough time, you could probably get into it farther. You haven't been kicked out.
Then yeah, that's what I'll be doing, trying to figure out how to do that. So as Tech's looking through everybody's personal shit, I'm just trying to unlock a door.
Okay. Wolf, you doing anything? I know you're away from your computer. I don't know if you got a headset on.
He's
No.
oh.
So while I'm out and about, I happen upon Leech as you're looking at this door, trying to figure it out, and I'm like, I walk up and I'm just kind of like, oh, this is old tech, ain't it?
Yeah.
Here, let me show you a secret. And I'm gonna rocket punch the door open.
Okay. Give me a damage roll because you can't miss.
6.
6 damage. Re-roll it. It's a 1.
Ah, yes.
I'll let that
Is
extend.
Phoenix random though?
Yeah, Phoenix came on with you guys. I'll say he's walking
Okay.
around with you guys.
So that's gonna be 9.
9 damage. You punch the door. It leaves a small dent.
I actually think I'm supposed to do extra damage. Give me a second. 'Cause
Okay. Yeah,
my
double check
rocket
for me.
boosted. Where the fuck did I put this thing?
Doors? We don't
Yeah.
need no doors.
There we are. Doubling the weapon's damage die. Okay, so another 4 damage.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you actually
13.
punch it open. You go ahead and knock it open, and it kind of falls. It falls in a little bit, like and slides open, revealing a fairly nice 2-person room with 2 desks and what looks to be a metal table in the middle that has some sort of holographic projection of the ship on it. In full function, in its full form, and there's a large middle section of it that's red.
Any others you got?
I'm gonna just point and I think this is the officers' quarters are in these areas.
Mm-hmm.
So however many doors there are, I'm gonna bust those down real quick.
Okay, don't worry about it. Just if you rocket punch, make sure you subtract the battery from your thing.
Yep. So
Okay.
how many are there?
There would be 4.
4. Okay.
Mm-hmm. On this level, anyway. But as I'm assuming you're taking a look around, Leech.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look around and I'll pull my tablet out and try to see. And I'm gonna just start
Let's hear
recording.
Yeah, everyone's like, Jesus Christ! If this was haunted, they know we're here now. No, no. But with that, you look, getting a look at the room, not with a still powering down rocket fist and a Tex grinning ear to ear from punching metal. You look in the room, get a better look. On the desks are personal effects, notebooks. Looks like pens, a few pictures on them as well. The one that you can see as you immediately walk in, is of a blonde man. Pretty close kempt beard, not bad. There's what looks to be a sword at his side in the picture, and then looking at the desk, there is a sword next to the desk.
Someone say sword.
I'll
I
pick
did.
up the sword.
It's +3 and we don't even know it. Who'd use this hunk of junk?
Because we can't attune to it anymore.
Who melees in space? God.
Looking at it, it is incredibly well crafted, and there is a symbol on it that kind of matches the flight suits of the other guys, but it's much more, brilliant. It actually looks like a actual, what looks to be a bird, but it's on fire. Across the hilt, the back hand of the handle is wire wrapped. The pommel of it actually has a small, what looks to be red gem, probably about your eyeball sized, in the back of it. And the blade is a nice steel pattern. Looks like it has a large fuller in the middle, engraved with what looks to be fucking squiggles down the middle. I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. I'll just pick it up.
It's in a
Put it in
scabbard. Yeah, not hard. You can throw it back on your backpack. The picture of the man is accompanied by a book as well. There's a notebook on the table.
I'm just picking up knowledge, dropping it in my backpack.
Okay. Look at the other desk. Similar setup. No sword, but there is what looks to be a pistol tucked in one of the top drawers. As you kind of rip through there.
Take a look, see what kind of piece we got.
It is what you would consider a historical piece, or a, archaic piece almost. It is a normal, non-universal ammo firing pistol. It shoots normal cartridge rounds. In this case, a 45 caliber round.
I'm just waiting for the day that John gives us a weapon that utilizes a clip and then forces me to use it.
This one would utilize a magazine.
Okay, so sword, pictures, and notebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, the room itself is pretty devoid, except for two mummified-looking guys in their bunks.
I'm going to check their bodies. I'm going to look to see if they have anything like an RFID card or something of that manner. So right now we have seeds and biochips, so I'm trying to see if they have something physical to unlock things.
Like an implant or something?
Like a key, like key card, like an ID card, if they have something of that magnitude. Because at this point, I'm like, man, these guys are fucking old school. So I'm trying to see if they have something physical to unlock doors and shit.
Looking at them, they are in just normal, like, the kind of clothes you saw in the other guys. You don't see anything on them. No.
I'll start patting them down.
Okay. Nothing on them. There's lockers in here.
I'll check the lockers.
Okay, that scores several uniforms, a few more personal baubles, coffee cups, things like that. One of them says, the coffee cup, it says PDC Officer Corps.
PDC Officer Corps. PDC.
And it says...
Does that ring a bell at all?
Class of 21. That would be a history check.
I don't think I have that skill. I think that's one of the few skills I don't have.
You would not know. Yeah, you could roll a 20 and not know with that if you don't have it proficient.
Okay.
It's just something you're like, I don't know, some old military thing, you're not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing in there. The other one has some stuff, but as you do look through there is what you can see is a lanyard that has an ID picture of presumably the guy. You look back on the desk, yeah, that's him. It says, officer. It would give his rank, like he's like a lieutenant or an ensign or something like that. Some name, and basically on the back there would be another card that looks about the same size. That is thicker. Looks like it probably could be RFID. You've heard of that old technology. It's the basis for a lot of things, but yeah.
Okay. I got the lanyard down. I guess I'll take a seat at the table and be like trying to figure out if it's just an active display or if it's an actual computer that I can try to play with.
It's kind of like a... Looking at it, give me a computer check.
Okay.
What do you know? Keyboards are the same they were back then as they are now.
A 20!
This one you actually find, there's a very basic, but highly upgraded from what you saw on the door. There's a basic universal language UCL thing, and it's basically just a holographic display that gets an update from something on a network called Ship Network 1 that relays, messages from officers as well as status of the ship. There is also a program on there that could locate individual people, things like that, by their lanyards. So.
Okay.
Program or download all the logs.
I was gonna. That was my next check, was to find out if I can access that or like ship manifest.
From here, no. You'd have to go to the bridge.
Does it have a map?
Yeah. You literally have a layout of the ship holographically projected in front of you. Yeah.
So where are we versus where's the bridge?
The bridge is probably like 3 layers above you. You have to go through a few generic places to get there, but shouldn't be hard. Access to there is not gone or anything.
Cargo bay, where's that listed?
Below you, 1 deck.
I'll take care of that.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go through the rest of the officers' quarters to see if I can find anything of use.
Much of the same. Some more
Any
journals.
more swords?
You see one, not as nice as this one. But you found a couple more.
Okay. I guess
I'd
I'll just
say,
throw my backpack.
well, you have 3 more.
Okay.
You're trying to carry 4 swords in your backpack. That won't work. I will tell you right now. You ever try to store a sword in a backpack? You have to secure.
I haven't.
You're gonna have to secure the shit out of these things. They're gonna be flopping
Enough
around.
bungee cord will be fine.
Bungee cords actually might work if you can bungee cord the scabbard to the side. Yeah, but yeah, you're gonna have to take a few minutes to kind of situate your pack.
I'm just creating a dump spot, pretty much.
Okay. Wolf, are you gonna do anything else? Because if not, you can just dip. Because this will probably take a while if they're gonna go deck by deck.
Yeah, we're gonna search the ship.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be doing anything.
Okay. Well, if you gotta dip out, man, no worries. We'll catch you next week.
All right. See ya.
Dude. Yep. Peace.
Later.
Yeah, I figure we should leave the ship and call for the week.
Yep, that's fine. So with that, let's see. Yeah, you kind of rip your way through the rest of that. There's a few more journals, a few more lanyards, things like that. You get a few more names, a few more things, all with the PDC kind of nomenclature and things like that. That stuff starts to pop up a lot. You see, now that you're looking for it in the corners of things and languages and stuff you don't really understand as well as you should. They look like these are some old ways to spell words and things like that. You can see actually PDC. Okay, that's pretty constant throughout the logs, throughout the ship, all that other good stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, just start moving through it.
Okay.
He wants to go to the cargo bay, go to the cargo bay, go to the bridge, shit like that.
So, Tex, in the cargo bay, you walk into what is basically the whole bottom portion of this ship is a cargo bay. There are 4 huge doors, and you can see why immediately as you walk through. There's about 5 battle tanks down the middle. Old school, treaded, metal, heavy-ass fucking battle tanks. They have a main cannon, they have some side cannons, a couple of them have some anti-personnel weapons, like small arms strapped to the outside. They're just tanks inside this thing. Looks like this was an expeditionary vessel that probably had enough people to drop a small armored company down onto something. As you look on the sides, like down the center is those main battle tanks, which are pretty big. Along the sides, there's smaller vehicles, like old gas-powered or solar-powered jeeps. Looks to be sits 4 to 6 people. Has a turret gun at the top, very almost like a Humvee.
What type of turret?
Just a mount for what would be a light machine gun on top, or a medium machine gun.
I want to know if we found a Gosshog or not.
No, nope, not yet. But there's probably about 10 or 15 of those along the sides, in various states of disrepair. You can see some of them look like they've been damaged a little bit, not too much though. And lastly, as you get towards the back side, there is what looks to be cages, where you would keep, arms and equipment and stuff like that. They look fairly picked over. Looks like somebody had cut the lock on this before. Looks like it's been sawed open with like a grinder, something like that, and it's pretty much picked over. There's a few boxes in there if you wanted to go look. But other than those cages, there is a large sealed set of blast doors that looks like it's had some pockmarks blasted into it, and the control panel of it shot to shit as it's been effed up, but still remains closed.
I'm gonna go see if there's any where to hook up to that still, or if it's all been fucked.
Walking up to the main console, it's been destroyed.
Okay. So plan V, and this is where I can get to pull the lock out. So there's a sealed door, you say, right?
Yeah.
All right, and there's tanks, you say, right?
There is tanks.
All right, I'm going to hop in a tank and just proceed to try to blow up that door.
Okay. All right. First step.
Well, wait. I guess one very key thing. How big is this area? It's big, right?
It's like a football field.
Okay, and then this door I'm trying to open, is it connected to the exterior hull, or is it like out from the hull?
I don't know. Do you know?
Well, I'm looking at it.
It looks like a big ass fucking door that takes the entirety, wall to wall, ceiling to floor, blast door. That kind of, I don't know. You'd have to know your situational awareness with.
I'm in my suit anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, so fuck it. I can breathe. I got
Yeah.
air. Okay. Yeah. No. All right. So as you climb up to this tank and kind of look at it, if it's like any other tank, has a hatch at the top or something like that. Sure shit. Yeah, there's a hatch at the top. Shouldn't be a problem. You go to open it up, it's locked. But it's locked with a physical lock. Like there's a ring and then a lock holding it open. Or holding it closed.
I have bolt cutters.
He has a
I have
robot
bolt
hand.
cutters. Yeah, I have bolt cutters too. I smashed the lock.
Okay, give me a damage roll.
Sure.
And actually just give me a full attack roll. Okay, that's good enough. 9. Yeah, you can. It's not going to take long. That first one almost knocks it off. Second hit would knock it off. You're fairly sure. Even better. Perfect. Yeah, the second one actually destroys the lock. Just breaks it apart. No match for your newer steels and stuff like that, as it punches a hole. And you can open up the hatch.
Open it up.
All right, you open it up, look inside. It is a very cramped space, but enough for what looks to be like a person to fit through, and then maybe 2 people to sit down there in 2 different seats. I was gonna say there is another hatch behind you as well. So you're gonna try.
Fumble fuck around until I figure out how to do
Okay,
it.
give me an acrobatics check to try to squeeze your heavy ass with a large metal arm on your back through a tank hole.
It's telescoping. It's fine.
It's still a whole backpack on your back, as we have previously established. You kind of get stuck a little bit. Not so much that you can not get yourself out, but it's gonna take some wiggle time. But I'll say, give me another roll.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
It takes you about 3 minutes, and eventually you wedge yourself down. You're like, oh, I gotta do that. I gotta breathe in right here, and then do this. Eventually make your way down into there, and there are 2 seats. How much do you know about tanks?
Like I said, I'm fumble fucking through it until I figure it out.
All right, you start pushing buttons, most of which do nothing. There's a lot of switches.
Well, I'm gonna look for anything that turns. I gotta get the turret aligned first, so I'm looking for anything like that first.
Well, there's in the front seat there's 2 toggles, a forward and a back. On the other side there's what looks to be a large black and yellow striped kind of door that comes down right here and opens. It would slide open. And there is what looks to be an oversized bolt action rifle action, pretty much.
I'm gonna guess so that part's definitely the loading. The second thing you described, that's where I'm gonna try to aim with.
Okay, so you go sit down at the toggles, right?
No, that's the move forward I'm talking about. So tank, I'm assuming there's like an area like in the center, right?
Looking at it, you walked up onto the first one you saw. There's another one on top of the turret. Opening the one on there shows you where you think the guy's going to drive and where the guy is doing something
Okay,
else.
so I'm gonna get in the other turret, the other hatch.
So another couple minutes go by as you wiggle your ass out of there.
Yeah.
Leech, you're just looting rooms at this point. You're
Mhm.
into the third, fourth room.
I'm trying to loot rooms too.
You get to the top one. Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll for knocking that lock off. It's the same thing. Couple smashes from it, it breaks. You get in there. There's 2 more seats.
Cool.
The
That
front.
one I'm gonna.
The one in the front definitely looks like it has a joystick and some other kind of stuff, and a control panel, a couple screens. The other one has a nice seat, a lot bigger, with a lot more panels, and you can see there is a little, like a pull thing. You'd like slide it, and it looks like the seat goes back and up, so he can man a anti-personnel gun in the back.
Cool. So yeah, I'm getting the top one because that's the main
Okay.
gun.
So you sit on it, and what do?
Joystick over.
There's no power to the tank.
Fuck. You son of a bitch.
I don't know, man. I'm asking you what you're doing. You're telling me what
You're
you do.
Engine would be in the lower part that I just was in. I go turn on the engine and I get back.
You could always get on the radio and ask for help.
I can't because we don't have radios.
We have
that would
physical
go that
radios.
Far,
we just can't use our seeds right now.
Well, you're also looting 2 floors up. I said I'd loot the bottom. Looting the bottom involves me shooting a tank.
So, after about 15 minutes of bumblefucking around, moving between compartments, getting yourself stuck, unstuck, all of this culminates in you going, man, I don't know what the fuck I can do with the tank, but you do find a way to turn it on. It is a
Hey, I got proficiency.
diesel.
Oh,
Oh god. It is a disgustingly old school powered vehicle. And you're not sure you turned it on correctly, but you do manage to get it to start, and it immediately starts pumping out thick black smoke into the room before calming down, and tank is on. So you're just gonna go up to the gun and try to manipulate the systems.
I'm hoping it's loaded already. Yes.
Okay. You move up to the top one, and as you do, sure enough, the systems seem to be booting up, and you can move the turret with the joystick.
Cool. I move it at the door and attempt to fire.
It says no round loaded.
Fuck.
You grumble down, you go down to the bottom seat. Try to figure out how this thing loads. You see that thing.
Oh, well, it's the giant bolt action thing. I would have figured that out.
You go over to there and you go, okay. You use the assisted thing, slide the bolt back, no round. You look around. Where do they keep the ammo on this thing?
They don't keep. Oh my god.
Give me a
So
perception check.
There's got to be at least a couple rounds stored in the tank.
There's probably
Oh no.
There's probably a full complement stored in the tank. It's just a matter of if a guy who's never touched a tank tries to use the tank, see how easy it is. So another 15 minutes go by before you figure out, oh, you press a button and that black and yellow striped door opens up and there's a fucking row of ammo all along the side on a conveyor belt. You take one and put it in. Clink! And it says, boop, loaded on the screen. You climb out, go all the way back up to the top, sit in the gunner's seat, and you can aim. Give me an attack roll. Non-proficient.
Yeah, what am I attacking?
I don't know. What are you attacking? I thought you were shooting the door, right?
Yeah. I meant how. I'm gonna do it that way.
It'd be, normal range attack.
Just Dex. Yeah.
Dex, no proficiency. So.
Yep, that's it. 18.
18. That's good enough to hit a non-moving stationary target with a tank. You fire the round into the door. Leech, from below decks you hear boom! Phoenix is like...
I'm gonna look at him. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. I can't read the computer to tell us if it's bad.
He's like... He punches things. Does he?
I got Wolf.
Man.
You go find out what he's doing. I got Wolf.
He's
we'll
like,
fight things if needed.
Okay, so yeah,
As I hear the great sound, I go.
Oh, this wasn't over radio.
Everything's okay.
He hears that and he's like, yeah, I'll make the judge of that. Explosions usually don't equal okay. Don't touch anything, Texas.
Did the door open?
There's a lot of debris and smoke from a tank round just being fired inside of this.
I'm firing
place.
round 2 before he gets here. If he.
You got to go down and eject the shell, reload another shell, climb back up. Yeah. One-man tank operation is
I'm
not
going faster because I want to do it before he gets here now.
You're like, all right.
I can just imagine this where he's like, okay, gotta take a deep breath. Okay. And then slides in. Okay, we're here. We go to, all right. I can just see how stupid this looks.
Yeah, it is.
Just wait until I try to strap it down to our ship.
Oh, yeah, I know.
God damn.
John, look at what you're doing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We're gonna get back to Cutthroat. We're gonna dust off our I can see it now. Our space freighter's gonna land, and a tank's gonna roll out of the back.
No, I wasn't gonna try to take a tank. I was gonna try to take a Humvee though.
There isn't. You didn't look on the other side of that door. Maybe there's something cool. Who knows?
I'm gonna fucking open this door and find out what's on the other side. Don't you worry about that.
All right. So as everything clears and you clear out, to your dismay, there's a lot of damage done to the door, but it's not big enough to fit through. There's an incredible amount of indentation against it, but it all looks almost superficial against a blast door. The tank round did definitely. You think your professional blowy uppy opinion is a couple more should probably do it.
All right, I continue a couple more.
Okay, so
as fast as possible.
so like you're doing that, you're going in, and you're like, all right, got it loaded, and you get out, and you just see Phoenix looking up at you like.
I fire.
You're not even in the firing seat yet, and he's like, he looks around and he's like. So you're trying to blow open a door?
Well, it didn't have a terminal, so there's no way to have him open it, so this was the best way. I mean, I figured tank, big door.
He looks around and he's like, I don't think it's the best way. I think it's the most fun way.
Yeah, there you got it.
He's like, I also think it's the most common is you're trying to fit your ass down in there again. He's like, I think it's also the most probable way of us doing something bad to this ship while we're all in it, but I'm not gonna stop you because it's a tank. So he's like, okay.
So what I'm hearing is, are you helping or not?
Yeah. When you go down and reload the tank, I'll get in the gunner's seat.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. This goes on for another 5-10 minutes, and you
And we
fire
doors.
3 fucking more shells into this thing before there is a hole the size of a person that you could go through.
And I crawl in.
All right. The two of you make your way over there, and as you do, you look on the other side, and there is what seems to be several large, old-school containers, kind of like the ones you have in your cargo bay currently. Just to be lined up, there's about 10 or 15 of them on the main floor on one side, and on the other side there's what looks to be 3 APC-looking vehicles, like a Stryker or a Bradley, something like that. Like a tank, but more designed to carry people rather than just a badass crew of badassery. Yeah, an APC. There's also, in the front, 4 fighter jets. Old design. Very old design. They'd be like comparing what you have in your bay to a fucking like World War I picture taking ship over the trenches. It's like this is a basic bitch ship. But yeah, there's some of those in there.
They'd probably fuck up a skiff though.
They have guns on them. They're just by all means nowhere near as fast. Don't have the range. Don't have the same propulsion system. Have, older guns, probably less damage, but yeah, they still shoot spaceship guns at stuff, so yeah, they are not anything to scoff at. You don't think they're better than what you have, just at a first glance, but you're not a plane aficionado. You would, you could be wrong. Could be definitely something else, but.
I'm looking through the crates.
Okay, that's going to take a minute. Leech. Going through the rest of the officers' quarters, you managed to scoop up their stuff, grain those other 3 swords, and then you were moving where?
Up to the wow, I can't think all of a sudden. The bridge. The bridge.
So you take the lift that's operational still, which as you get up to it, it looks like almost a cathedral-like lift as well. And you make your way up to the bridge. And it is on that bridge level with you and Wolf, where the regalia and the things of the ship that you had seen before, like, oh, this is all like brass or gold covered stuff. It's like, bone white walls and all this other shit that looks that looked like a cathedral. You get to the opening of this bridge, and it opens up into what is commonly referred to as a bailey in a castle. It's basically a room that has murder holes in it, and it's a basically a physical barrier that would deter you from going into this. And you can see offline and shot up are a few turrets that are dangling from the walls, and there's about 30 corpses just littered across the floor as you open up. The floors, now covered in a blackish ichor, kind of like probably dried blood, mask what is described only as a mosaic style floor, depicting an interesting scene. There is a picture of 4 individuals fighting against what looks to be a massive fucking just undead horde. Just like skeletons. You can see some zombie looking things in there, like something out of a storybook you would see. Looking
like a fantasy story?
Yeah, like a fantasy story, exactly. Looking at it, it looks almost generic. Like you think you might have heard some story like this before. But looking up away from this mosaic on the floor covered in the dried old blood, the walls themselves are covered with bones, like skulls. Like you know what an ossuary is, so where they inter bones under the ground rather than a cemetery. It looks like that. Just skulls with actual candles, none lit or burning, but candles just all throughout. The whole bridge door is just covered with the same kind of mural work that you'd saw on the floor, but this time done by paint, not mosaic, so it's a lot more detailed. On there you see a warrior with a flaming sword, a guy with a sword or a spear that's just like a dark purple that extends almost the length of the canvases. Like they are fighting against something incredibly disturbing on the other side. Something like a shadowy figure. Can't really make out what it is, but it looks super gothic. In scroll work over the top, there is just some absolutely intricate lettering that just basically says some shit in even a language you don't understand. You've never seen it before.
Pull out my tablet and start recording everything.
Okay. Not a problem. You can do all that. There is a single data entry point that is available to you to attempt to open the door if you'd like.
Is the tapestry mounted to the wall? Like, can I take it with me?
It's not even a tapestry.
It's painted on the wall?
It's a mural painted on the blast door that it probably goes into the bridge.
Okay.
Rip.
I will pull out the super fancy lanyard that I found from the fancy sword guy, and I will bloop.
Okay. As you scan it against the door, it says Knight Carlson in letters, and the door slides open. Before you is a bridge. Standard things you would see. Multiple stations, multiple chairs, all that good stuff. Same kind of architecture as you saw throughout the bottom part of the ship, just up to the nth level. Not as ossuary-like as the front, but along the sides you see several statues, but they're not actual. They're like hollow projections of statues, like a holograph kind of thing. Yeah, all this while hearing boom, boom from below deck. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You see in there is a central, what looks to be like a database or a server rack kind of thing in the center, like with 4 or 5 large towers that have lights on. There is one central chair looking at a large screen in the front, as well as the smaller seats in the back.
I'm going to walk around and see if any of them look like it says Knight on them?
None of them look like they say that. There is 2 bodies in there in the seats. The rest are vacant.
Checking for ID cards.
Okay. The one of them is sitting in the lone chair, which you'd probably assume to be the captain. It does have a lanyard ID card. It's clutched in its hand, as well as a uniform, fairly tattered. But the odd thing about that uniform is it's included in it is what looks to be a spalder, a set of greaves, and a mailed gauntlet, like old school knight style shit.
Interesting. Okay.
They're
How does the gauntlet look? Does it look nice? Is it all nasty looking?
It's pretty fucking badass. It's actually the one that you had opened up to get the key card from. But
okay.
inside it looks good. It's a mailed gauntlet of a very good make. Has some embellishments and some carvings around it. Yeah, the clothes are fine. Their bodies are mummified pretty much.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll take the ID card and see if there's something I can do at like the chair to like open up the terminal or.
As you kind of do that, it basically just beeps acknowledgement at you.
Okay, then I will pick up the captain and I will move him off to the side
Okay.
and respectfully put him on the floor.
Okay. Not a problem.
Not just like pull him out of the chair and be like, get out of my way. Like none of that kind of stuff. Just move him respectfully, and then I'll sit down and see if something like projects or anything like that, or
No.
a little computer pop up.
As you sit in the chair, it simply has the same amount of. There's a few little consoles on the arms with buttons and things like that, but whatever thing you were expecting does not happen. There's no like pop-up display or anything like that, but you could try manipulating the chair if you wish.
I guess I'll just get up and I'll walk over to one of the terminals and just try to see if I can, like, if the terminal will turn on and see if I can get into the logs that way.
Okay.
Instead of sitting in his chair.
As you walk over there, you're trying to use the card to turn it on or
Yeah.
anything. All right. You kind of push the card close to it, and it says Captain Gendry. Welcome. And it turns on the display.
Okay.
And this is probably what you would imagine is a communications display, but it does have full access to the computer systems. You just have to try to dig in them.
Yeah, I'm going to start trying to dig, see if I can find, logs, flight records, any of that kind of shit.
Okay. There
I'm having
is,
trouble reading it all.
I would say give me a computer check real quick. Shouldn't be too difficult. Just don't roll real shitty. Yeah, no. You're able to find them. There's an extensive list of logs and reports and things like that, as well as a internal kind of storage space for officers' works and stuff like that, as well as a one for enlisted as well.
Okay. Anything on their logs for what they're carrying, like in their hull? Like anything special?
You would have to read through. Nothing at a glance.
Like their manifests? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if like manifests, like I don't know how the military does it.
There'd probably be one. You just have to find where it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will do that.
It'd just be like, this is not something you catch at a glance. It's something that takes research and time, but you could if you wanted to. The whole thing, the whole thing is teeny tiny data size compared to files you usually move around. So you could easily just throw it into a storage space if you have it. So.
Oh well, I wasn't sure if I could get the data from the computer to my terminal.
You
okay,
could.
Then yeah, I'll do that.
It might need to be like, it's going to be in a odd format, but you do have a hacker on board your ship who could probably handle it.
Okay, then that's what I'll do.
Okay. You download the contents of the files, pretty much everything, but like, I mean, do you want to get everything off the ship? Because that would probably be hard. But
I'm looking for like file log, like operational logs from like the captain.
Okay, not like the
first
programming on the guns.
Yeah,
and all.
I don't
Okay,
care about
okay.
any of that shit.
So just the correspondence
and the manifest. Yeah, I want to see like what their manifest was like. Were they carrying like food supplies? Were they carrying like weaponry? Like I'm looking for that kind of shit because I haven't been down to the cargo hold yet.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to understand what the ship was.
Anything they'd have in a Navi computer.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Any maps, or as well as any paths they took.
Okay. So that'll take a little bit of time to download, but not much. Maybe like a minute to get the entirety of it.
Okay.
It's okay. It currently takes me like 5 just to reload the tank. So you go.
Well,
Have you ever tried to reload a tank without knowing
I
what
wish
to
I
do?
had. I wish I could say that I had.
Yeah. I've seen it done. I've never done it. It is an ordeal. I think a tank crew is supposed to be able to fire it's not it's not many times a minute, but it's
Probably a couple rounds per minute.
It's
Probably like 2 or 3.
well, it's more like 6 or 7, but yeah. Like if you can get 6 tank shells out in a minute, damn.
But the only reason I said 2 or 3 is I'm assuming you're moving too, so you'd have to like move and shoot and all that.
That's why you have
yeah, but Abrams have computers.
for.
I mean,
Yeah.
They work it.
It's a lot of cool shit. But yeah, no, I mean, you're downloading that. You guys are going into that extra cargo hold, right? You went in there, you looked around, you wanted to go through the those things.
The crates.
Yeah, it takes a little time to bust off all the locks because all of them are locked. There's like 3 or 4 locks per, but it's not hard. You can crack them open. Inside looks to be a bunch of duffel bags. In the first one you open, looks to be names painted on the bottom. Just looks to be crew members' gear, loaded, stacked high.
Is it? I'd open one of the bags. Are they made like military gear or like settling gear?
Looks like a rucksack, canteens, cold weather boots, poncho liner, equipment gear. So it looks like all the kind of stuff you'd see for a standard issue for you. You were in the military, so you would know. But doesn't look like this is little Susie's bear and a pick to thing and a farming guide. No, nothing like that.
Cool. And I keep going through the rest of the crates.
Okay. The second one you open has what looks to be like logistical stuff, like stuff to set up like a forward base. So like tables, chairs, tents, communications equipment, generators, batteries, stuff like that.
I moved that crate to the door.
It's a one that you would put on the back of a semi truck, so it's not something you could really pull to the door.
Okay.
It'd be a
I
whole.
marked that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Easy. It's easily done. Next one, similar kind of stuff. Maybe to set up another part of the base, medical stuff maybe. Another one that looks like it has additional tents, but mostly living quarter stuff. Looks like all these things are designed to set up what looks to be a forward base somewhere, and they're all just the moving parts you need: water, food, communications, barracks, defenses, stuff like that. You get into the next couple, because there was like 15 or so. The next couple have some interesting things. Computers, old computers, tech. Old tech, but a lot of it is pristine. Looks to be all sorts of stuff from small handheld devices like PDA kind of things to huge full server racks to PC style computers.
I just
There's
carve Ash's Xmas present on the side and then move on.
You got it. The next one you open has what looks to be engineering tools, things you would need to repair anything from a tank to a gun. So all sorts of, foundry kind of stuff, machine shop tools, things like that. Basically, you go through the rest of them, and that's basically what you're going to find, is everything you'd need to set up an entirely self-sufficient military fortification in a different place. As well as, you just saw 5 tanks, 3 APCs, and a shit ton of trucks to protect it. If you had to make a guess, this was a probably brigade size, or not a brigade, but a whole company size element attached to this ship. And this was their cargo hold to do it. Pretty much all their shit is in here. And then the quick deployable stuff, which was all put up in rows, looked like it was lined up ready to drive outside the main outside cargo bay door, was all vehicles ready to roll out. But yeah, that's basically what you find.
And now was that the first cargo hold, and the second cargo hold had the planes and stuff in it, correct?
Yeah, had the planes and the
Okay.
containers you're going through, as well as the APCs. Yeah.
Okay. So is there still another container that's unopened then?
There, what are you looking for? I could tell you. Most of it is literally just base setup stuff. Are you looking for anything in
Okay,
particular?
that's it. All right.
Yeah.
Then my questions after that is how big are the hallways? Would they be able to accommodate a Humvee?
The hallways where?
Of the ship.
This ship? No.
Damn.
Like you couldn't
Okay.
even get a Humvee in the lift. They're person sized. The Humvee is not person sized. Yeah, most definitely not.
Poor ship design then. Got it.
Yeah. Because we need to ride Humvees up and down the hallway.
I want Humvees in hallways, damn it. Humvees in hallways.
All right. But yeah, so that whole front end or that whole back end cargo container looks like it was entirely set up for military moving of stuff.
I'd be writing a list. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was like, I could keep going through those containers and remember what I had on my deployment. But a lot of it is just like, yeah, this is cool stuff if you want to set up a base somewhere in the desert or something. Water purification shit and a mess.
so I go through it all with Leech and say what's worth taking or not.
Well, are we trying to set up a base in the desert? Because this is great. Otherwise,
Oh, some of the engineering supplies I'd probably find useful. Some of the medical supplies he might find useful. That's what I mean. So
Okay.
we'd be able to cherry pick certain parts.
okay, very true. But yeah, so that's that. You finish getting all the things off the bridge, Leech. All the info.
Okay, cool. And then I'll look at Wolf and be like, let's go find out what's exploding, and start making my way down to the cargo hold.
Okay. Yeah, you come in to see this whole shit show.
So why were you shooting a cannon?
Well, there's a big door that had no access port because someone else tried to get in and failed. So,
Gotcha.
the only way to break it open was blow it open.
So I'm gonna look at you and be like, all right, why are the blast doors? Why are these such badass blast doors for just station equipment?
Well, considering that there are heavy tanks and jets, I'm gonna guess those were to keep civilians out.
I haven't seen any civilian stuff.
No, but normally big weapons like this you keep behind big doors.
There was a whole front half of the ship that was blown off too, so
That is true.
could
Okay.
be civilian stuff up there.
All right. I'll look at you guys and be like, well, I pulled the logs. I pulled what I could. It's all weird formatting. It doesn't make sense, but it's old, so it is what it is. Anything we can use?
I'd go through what I found.
You see, Phoenix just points at one of the tanks. Gives you puppy dog eyes.
You want a tank? How are we gonna get a tank?
He's like, hell yes, I want a tank. I know we can't have a tank.
Oh, wait. So all these are pointed towards some sort of door, like airlock door, right?
They're pointed to the front door that is what would be the out way, which would lead out into space.
Okay, so I figure, alright guys, here's the play, alright? We're gonna go space fishing.
You don't have space to fit a tank.
No, but we have a really long cord.
You
gonna
could.
tow it.
You could.
We're gonna tow it.
No, we're not.
And we're never gonna stop, otherwise it's gonna run into us.
That thing's gonna smash
Be
into
like,
you
well-
the first chance.
It is interesting. I don't know if there's anything of value that we could take from here.
He's like,
I
this
mean,
is a fucking floating museum. So he's like, I doubt. He's like, unless you wanted to sell this shit to a museum, we could sell the location maybe to a collector, but that's about it.
Well, I pulled off those swords because they look really, really spiffy. So,
I like
I don't
collecting blades. Whatever, it's all good.
well, I figure if maybe someone wants, I don't know who the hell this company is or what this place did, but they look pretty badass. So maybe someone will be like, "Ooh, I want that shiny sword."
You said you went to the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Was engines and everything still working?
It was most of it was shut down, but I could turn it back on. It was
Well, I'm
all in
wondering-
emergency mode.
I mean, so this is a museum worth of crap. I wonder if this thing has an autopilot, if we were just send it back to the fucking base and hope it gets there. If it doesn't get there, then it doesn't get there. If it does get there, we have a fuckload of shit to sell off.
It's an option. But I don't know. I'll look at the manifest and just try to see if what they could have possibly have taken for the smaller things. the scavengers, what they were into.
Okay, well, looking through the files you picked up, there's one that does just seem like a long list of names. Probably about 400, 450
No,
people.
he means the scavengers. What did they take
Uh,
off here?
I don't know.
He's trying to guess.
That's the log I'm looking for. Yeah.
He's trying to guess what that is.
There's not a log of things scavengers would take, so what are you trying to find that information? I get what you're saying, I'm just trying to say, how are you trying to deduce this?
I'm looking through there to see if there's anything that's jumping out at me that's like, oh, that has modern value. Like, okay, a tank has value. Not this tank, but a tank does. I'm looking at something that old people use that's like, we have ye-old gold. And we're like, oh, hey, we can refine this gold better than they refine this gold. So I'm looking at that.
You could do anything. Any of the any of the stuff in the weapons chamber would be sold for collectors. Which, looking over at the cage, it's been sawed open and pretty much gone through. Any of the tanks could go, but there would be a bitch to the logistics of moving those out is tough. Same thing with the APCs or the vehicles. You could sell those to a collector. That's worth a lot of cash. You went through the barracks, and they didn't really get touched too much. And other than that, on the bridge, you just saw a bunch of dead fucking bodies piled up against the wall. So, other than... it looks like the most valuable things that people would have taken probably would have been information. And they never got it off the bridge that you could tell. The engines could be scavenged. For if they are old engines, they might run on reactor core kind of things. So the power section would be useful. The engineering section would be old, but it might have some useful. Just this is made out of this, material. This might be good for scrap.
How big is the ship?
Like 10 times bigger than your ship.
Okay.
It's like a cruiser.
What's the power source?
I don't know. You'd have to figure it out.
We'd have to go to the engineering bay. Would I know if robots existed back when we first did space travel?
The base kind of robots would. Nowhere near like what you have today. I'd give you a year
because I got it on the fucking thing. I would have been like, oh yeah, I also figured out what year this was.
What year is this from?
I think 2033 is what you said or something like that.
Yeah.
2203.
At least that's when that picture was taken. So.
Yeah.
Somewhere's around.
So around there.
A human lifetime around there.
Yeah.
What year is it now?
Was it 2499 or something? 2489. Yeah, it's been a couple hundred years.
About the
Brian said he's about 300 years old.
Brian is 300 years old. Yeah.
So Brian actually would have been alive for this.
He might know about it.
Possibly. At the
so
very
there was
least,
a tech container. I'm gonna go through the tech container and see if I find any old robots.
Inside there, you don't see any. It's more of the operating side, not the hardware side. So it'd be mostly the computers that would run the bays that run the robots or things like that. More set up the base to allow communications and how to keep the lights on, how to keep the generators running, stuff like that.
Okay.
If you're specifically looking for robots, these containers would have none. If you looked through all of them, which Clyde basically did, none of them would have robots. But you have a sinking suspicion that they probably wouldn't keep robots in these kind of containers, especially if it was a military thing. They probably have their own special containment area.
Okay.
Something that would be a battery pack for them, or they could recharge or something along those lines.
Let's go to engineering. Maybe that's where it would be.
Yeah, I'm finding the heart of the ship now.
Okay. Looking where to figure out that information? Anders files or something?
I'm guessing there's signs in the giant fucking hallways, right? Most places have those.
Some, but that's written in a language you don't speak.
Fuck.
It's kind of like it's kind of like trying to read Spanish, but with only having a couple years of Spanish under your belt. You could probably make out some of the words that are very easy, but a lot of them are going to be I don't know. And it's more along the lines of German and Spanish, but yeah.
Okay. Go back to where the 3D holographic projection of the ship was.
Okay.
And try to see if I can find where it all comes together,
Okay. The engineering core is in the red section that was destroyed. The power station is on the front half of the ship that has broken off, behind a massive radiation shield on both sides and a huge buffer zone from the compartment to everything else. So the place that got salvaged by that other crew was probably the power core. The engineering thing probably got destroyed.
They figured out what I was going to go after was the reactor. Fuck.
It's a very good guess.
They want that plutonium. Alright. I have no other ideas, Tex. You got one?
Well, we figured out what they took. That was important. I guess the only other... I noted what we got, so when we head back, if anyone's got anything, they fucking go get it.
They said, well, those containers will fit in our ship, and we can take 2. And we could take a third one and just take all that shit in that mini container you got and upgrade it to a big container if you want.
I'm cool with it. What do you think?
Wait, so say the 2 options again, and we either get 2 or...
So
we can fit 2 of the big ones, or we get rid of the small one, and then we can fit a third.
all right, so just so you have a visual of what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Your cargo hold has those 2 little line-shaped things with like the red recesses in them, right?
Yeah.
You can fit 2 containers, which the containers that you're looking at are about those size. So they're 20 feet by 10 feet, just big-ass shipping containers. You can fit 2 of those stacked per each of those little holes in the bay, and then you can fit 1 large container on the outside, which you already have the armory container attached to that currently. So you have 1 large container in there and a half container. So you could technically take out the half container and get 3 more containers and be full up on containers in your cargo hold, or you could just get 2 more and keep the half container.
So it's basically, do we want the old artillery or the jets?
You could cross-load the artillery into anything.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
guys.
honest
Yeah,
answer.
you guys have at least a day and a half for this to go down. So.
Yeah, so we would move that over to a chest and then jettison the old one and put the 2 full ones in. Okay, that's easy then. Easy decision.
All right. Easy,
Not losing anything.
Easily done. Yeah. No, you don't have to lose anything. So
That's
now,
great.
let's see. Yeah, you have an old beat-up crate that gets replaced with an old antique crate now, and now you have 2 extra crates. So the question would be, you want to take 2 crates fully loaded already, or do you want to pick and choose through those? Because that might take a little longer.
Alright. Good. The DM Handwave, which containers are the most valuable to us? In practicality, not in expense, but in our personal use.
What's more usable now, not that we'd have to get someone else to buy or something like that, right?
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
Yeah.
That depends entirely on what you want to do. A container full of antique guns might be useful for reasons. A container full of fabrication equipment, you made a good argument for that. Hey, if it can fabricate stuff 200 years ago, still fabricate stuff now. Might be, different, but it could work. Same thing with the medical equipment. It's a little behind the power curve you have, but it could be useful. You do have a medical bay on board, though, so it's like, what do you want to do?
I'd want anything utility-wise over anything weapons-wise from this place, I'd guess.
I'll tell you what. How about this? You guys give me either a skill roll you think would be effective in determining something that skill roll would work. So, for example, Leech, if you're like, I want to get the best medical shit out of there, give me a medicine roll, and you can do that. Tex, I want the best engineering shit out of there. Give me an engineering roll, goes for that. And we can say that fills up a container.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Just give me your rolls. Let me see what you got. A 21 for medicine, okay, and a 20 for engineering. Pretty good rolls.
I can't roll much better. So yeah.
So you look through all these containers, find a few gems and some other ones, pack everything you can into one container, that is basically the best engineering shit and best medical shit you guys can do. You do the same thing with medical stuff. There's some stuff that's universal, gauze and bandages and all that other kind of shit that's always
Morphine's
just
always
useful. 200-year-old morphine, though, not so good. That
Some
would,
drugs have a hell of a long half-life. I don't know.
morphine doesn't. Morphine's pretty decent, but it's not 200 years. I think it's like a couple years, actually, before it starts losing potency pretty bad. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so you guys get one container full of that, and I'll say Wolf and Phoenix grab another container and load it with some other stuff. What kind of shit you think you want? Wolf, weapon.
Want some old gun.
No.
Any explosives?
Yes. 200-year-old explosives, though, or
We
as
have
a
tank rounds.
Yeah.
Yes, there's explosives.
There's some in there, yeah. They're 200 years old, but they've been.
I just pile them up for fucking. I just fill my backpack with tank rounds for them. How's
You
that?
have 2 rounds. Those are not little.
They're not.
Fair
They're
enough.
also
Alright.
heavy as fuck. You don't have a magic backpack, so you're limited on actual
Yeah,
cubic
that's right.
space you can fit.
John, you say there's magic in this world. All right?
There is. You just haven't found
Bag,
any.
Please.
We could.
Sounds like
Hey, y'all wanted to play sci-fi, so we're playing sci-fi. We can easily go back to fantasy if you'd like, but either that or
like
you
sci-fi.
find out how to get magic back. But I will go ahead and say Wolf focuses his attention on getting as many training aids as possible. Things to set up like a range, sandbags, range markers, things along that line, targets, shooting like that, so he can actually test his guns and shit in the ship, or something along those lines. Takes a few pieces of good plating and stuff like that from tank repair kits, so he can stack it behind the sandbags so he doesn't blow holes into shit.
All right, new
Goes
engineering system. We're gonna create basically like those like Dr. Hand things that they have. We need that goes outside the ship with a gun, and then basically just like fucking clay shooter.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Something that shoots shit out of the back of the door.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Have to find a way that the bullet could travel through the the barriers though, without having to. Or every time you shoot, you go to vacuum real quick and then go. Hold your breath. No, but yeah, no, he gets that kind of stuff. Range equipment. And Phoenix just grabs in this kit. Well, there's some. He probably would. He'd
I was
grab
about to say this is a military ship. and there's some
200-year-old
dudes on
scotch.
there. 'Cause he'd be going through the barracks and flipping over all the beds, and he'd find all the stashes because we know
Yep.
they're there.
Yep, there would be.
one thing I was gonna ask for in the military or the officers' barracks is I was gonna look for like a shaving kit.
Yeah, there's some in there. Old
Yeah,
as fuck,
yeah.
classic antiques, but yeah, they were.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Like straight razor kind of set up, and yeah,
Well, it's
go back to more creature comforts.
the year 2200. Shaving kit is probably still pretty fucking advanced, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming by then we just have a machine that goes like that and just clean face.
Pretty much. You got to think about this. That's only 300 years after magic was gone. So that's about the longevity of most races that could live that long. So the last dwarves, the last stuff like that. That's when they're dead. So this is truly the age of humans at that point, because they're the only races that stuck around that long that you guys know of. Mhm. Yeah. Most everything else, yeah, all the Eldarin people had to go, all the orcs had to go, all the other magical creatures probably got hunted to extinction, all sorts of shit like that. But that's kind of ancient history. But I think that's everything. You guys cross-load all the stuff you get out of there. The big thing to take away from this is you did find a lot of credits. Credits they go back a couple hundred years even before this. So you do find a lot of actually just money.
Oh, awesome.
And if you want to write it down, you find 5,650 credits.
5,650.
You also find a crate further in the ship containing gold. Bars of gold. Don't know the exact value of them, but there's 100 of the bars. It's like a pallet. It's heavy as fuck. You also find, you also find on a deck above this one a bunch of pallet loaders and small, like just kind of hover loaders and stuff like that.
Considering we're basically becoming a shipping company, good thing to have around.
You could grab one of those if you wanted.
I figured that's kind of what we would do with these extra cargo containers, is try to load them with whatever's useful.
Yeah, we'd definitely take a cargo loader.
Okay. So you have a shipping loader or cargo loader in your cargo bay now. Easily done.
Awesome.
Other than that, going through the rest of the ship nets a bunch of old discarded food, discarded supplies you would see on a ship, but nothing that's really standing out going, hey, this is really cool. Everything else kind of boils down into that. The only thing that I would say that is of interest is there is one deck of the ship across from the medical bay, which again has old outdated equipment you could take if you really wanted to or were nostalgic. They have some old school stuff like an eye chart that's not holographic, and like some old, a bone skeleton on a little wheelie thing, like some of the classic shit you'd see now in an old-timey doctor's office, but they would never use. Yeah, it's him.
That's
they
Johnny.
know it's old Johnny Humor Bones over here. But
that's gonna be the real throwback to the last campaign. Is he didn't? We thought we meant our previous campaign. He really meant the one shot, and we're gonna find skeletons or closet.
I love it. But across from that, there is a small hallway which leads to a door with a medical caduceus on it. But it also has what looks to be a mortar and pestle at the bottom, kind of like a pharmacy. But the mortar and pestle is odd. Something just stands out about it that seems weird. You can go into that room, and inside it looks more of like a garden than anything else. There's herbs and stuff that have overgrown and just taken over this place and then died. Some of them are still active. Some that require very little water because they have a drip system are still there. But for the most part, there's just overgrown or dead plants in here. There's also a bunch of animals in cages, long since dead. As well as there's a large central just table with what you would imagine a Bunsen beaker the size of a cauldron or a huge pot, like an industrial soup pot. A bunch of lab equipment like beakers and distilling kind of things like that, as well as 3 books on the table.
Physical books, cool.
Physical, old school books, bound in leather, brass straps on top of them, look like some magical fucking tome you'd see in an old children's storybook.
Grabbing them.
Okay. That pretty much, you now have a library's worth of books in your backpack, seeing as you got the 4 lieutenants' books before that.
Yep.
You're pretty much stocked up in a backpack there. These ones are larger than normal books. They're like what you'd imagine to see like the Bible at a church would be, that big ass fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, those big motherfuckers. So yeah, you grab those, and other than that, yeah, everything else seems absolutely normal. Just more corpses around the place. Looks like everything decompressed so fast that people just couldn't get out of the way. They weren't ready for this, whatever happened.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Grab that kind of shit and be like, I'm good to go, boys.
Okay. For the better part of the day, it takes you. But yeah, what were you gonna say? Didn't mean to cut you off.
I got to shoot a tank today. I'm.
You did. You got to. You figured it out on yourself too. You did it by yourself.
I don't need no training wheels.
But yeah,
Doing it live is what they
fuck
said.
it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. But yeah, no. You managed to get all the way through there. It takes the better part of the day into the morning. You work, but you get everything loaded. Bring the loader over. Bring your backpacks full of shit over, and eventually you make your way back to the Nightingale before deciding where to head off. But I think that's a good place to call it. And
Yep.
when everybody comes back next week, you guys can go over the loot you got out of there. Maybe discuss some things. Maybe go back and recheck. Who knows what you want to do. And yeah, chart your course from there. So
Cool.
Let me see here. Yep, you're about halfway through level 5. So.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's all we got for the night. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and look down below. There should be a little bit of descriptions on things like how to get into Discord. If you got questions, send me DMs, stuff like that, if you're interested. And if not, we look forward to see you next time. Adios. Take it easy.